doing today? I'm your host, Tony Prince. Today we have on the line, we have Theo, a close personal friend of mine. We're gonna talk about last night's MMA MMA card that they had. It was just amazing. Theo, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Prince. How you doing?
Good, man. I'm just
Amazing night of fights.
yeah, man. Last night that MMA card was amazing last night.
It was a stack card. It was a total stack card. I was looking out for that for a while now. So yeah, it delivered totally.
Yeah, and what's so cool about that was I was amazed on from the time the fight started. What would you say? It was like 3 o'clock to 10 o'clock.
Yeah, the prelims.
Yeah,
The prelims were started at 3 o'clock, and the prelim show was delivered.
yeah,
I mean, it kept you going. It wasn't like no boring fights. There were actually good competitive fights. And then it went into the main card. I mean, the prelims were like so many. There were so many fights on the prelims, and then the main card happened. And
hmm
wow,
yeah,
so
yeah. I was amazed last night because I was just like, boxing has really got to step up their game. Big time, big time. Because
figure you look at the pay-per-view, a boxing pay-per-view, you said maybe, I mean, let's take Top Rank or DAZN or any one of the new promoters or networks out there. You have like two undercard fights, and then you have the main event, right? And then
hmm
sometimes, the undercard is like snoozers, and then, you have the main event. Sometimes the main event's not that great unless, to the casual fan, a lot of people want to see blood and guts. They want to see the KO. They want to see, the drama of the cut. And they want to see a whole bunch of other stuff.
right, right,
As technical guys, we love, I like watching 12-round fights,
yeah,
boxing fights.
yeah,
I love watching the fight plans, lay out.
right, right,
But you're right, though. I
yeah,
mean, when it comes to like an MMA card, you're talking about 15, 20 plus fights.
yeah, yeah.
From 3 o'clock all the way to 10 compared to the 3.
Yeah, right,
Uh,
right, right, and that's where boxing need to step up their game because, hey, PBC, Top Rank, all you guys even hear this, you guys need to pay attention to this. Hey, look, bottom line to it is, excuse me,
Chris,
what,
you know how it is on a live card, though. When you watch, when you're there in the arena at a boxing event,
hmm
it's just like MMA. I mean, you have a good undercard of like 10 fights, but none of it's televised.
right, right,
Like
yeah,
the UFC, or like, I can't say UFC, but MMA,
hmm
they have their prelim cards. They show everything.
correct, yeah,
Prelims all the way to the main event.
all the way up to the
But
main event,
in a boxing event, you pay your $80 to $100, and you only get the 3 fights.
right, right.
You don't get the from 3 o'clock when the doors open.
Right.
Walk in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. And that's what was so amazing last night.
Right? They
We
showed it all.
yeah, they showed it all. We saw from the women fighting to, to the men fighting. And it was amazing, just amazing card.
Bang for your buck.
Yes. Yes. And that's where I think boxing is falling short is because it's that bang for the buck that the actual, boxing fan or MMA fan is looking for. And right now the MMA right now is doing it. They're doing it big. They're doing it big time. Yeah, it is. It is.
Whether it's UFC, Bellator, Bellator
Yeah.
does the same thing.
Yeah.
PFL does the same thing. They're showing all of it. From when the doors open, they're showing all the fights. They're not just showing you the main card. They're showing all of it, which is a plus.
Yes.
Especially for a fan like us, we want, more for our money.
Correct.
And here it is.
Yeah.
They deliver totally.
Yes.
Everybody does.
Yes. And that's why MMA has gotten so popular throughout all the years. It's just because of what they've done. They had great success. So hey.
So that when the thing is when MMA got popular, I could honestly say this: back in 2005, it started getting popular. It was still in the dark age,
hmm
from like the 90s to like 2001, 2, 3. It was still underground, right?
hmm
It was more popular in Japan in like the 2000s. But when 2005 hit and Dana White and the Fertitta brothers decided to make it, mainstream television with the Ultimate Fighter, that's
Correct.
when everything switched.
Correct.
That's when everything switched because they had, the televised portion of it, and they were teaching the game.
Right. Right.
So then, of course, you fast forward to now.
hmm
You can say MMA is boxing. But it followed boxing's roots, though. Boxing was the same thing. Remember Friday Night Fights? It was free.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was on TV, free. Everybody knew,
correct.
These fighters. And back then, all the fighters were fighting each other.
Right,
so
right.
We had fights every month.
Right. And in fact, I remember from Philadelphia, they used to have it was called the Blue Horizon. They used to have fights all the time. And
that's the arena with the ring on top.
Yes.
You had the apron on top, and it was so like you had the audience on top.
Yes.
Down into the ring.
Yes, yes. And I remember that. And there was some of the best fighters that came out of the Blue Horizon. There were amazing fighters that came out of there.
Philly show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, and you know what is so sad was, things had to shut down with the Blue Horizon. I wish somebody would come back and start doing Friday night fights. And if you guys need a platform to put it on, you could contact Boxing Profiles TV, because we are also going to be a channel on Roku TV. That's right, folks. Roku TV, Boxing Profiles. We're in the early stages right now, but pretty soon, in a couple of weeks, we'll be up and fully running. So PBC, we are available for you guys also, that you can put your boxing on our channel, Boxing Profiles TV on the Roku. That's right, folks. All right. So, I mean, like I said, man, I was excited and just being a fight fan. Now, I mean, like I said, I'm a former fighter. You know that. Just being a fight fan, whether it's boxing or MMA, just being a fight fan. And then, you see these exciting fights and you're just like, man, what's next that's coming up? So
right? It keeps you like wanting to see the next one and the next fight and the next fight
and the next fight. Correct. Yes.
Mm-hmm. You don't know it. You don't know these people. You don't know the fighters as much as you do like a boxer would. I mean, when you follow their careers, like the amateurs, from the amateurs to the Olympics, that's how it usually was. That's the platform that mostly boxers came from. Ali went that route.
Right.
The Olympics, amateurs, Olympics, pros, and then you see him. Right. Leonard, same thing.
Right. Right. But
amateurs, right? They don't have that in MMA.
Right.
Even though you don't know them, but then they come out to. They know they only have this one shot, and they're hungry.
And they're hungry,
so
yeah,
of course,
yeah.
They know they're on TV, and they gotta make a show. They gotta show
what
they're capable of. So then they're given 110, 130%. Once they're just to get eyes on them.
Right. Yeah.
It's amazing how far the evolution of MMA came on. It came from no holds barred, where it was no rules. You could punch to the nuts. It was pretty barbaric. I mean, it drew.
Yeah, it drew people.
They wanted to watch it. They wanted to see the blood and guts. They want to see the drama, right?
Yeah. And you know what's so crazy about that? You see a guy's, he get his face cracked open, or he's get a big old gash in his head, and it's like people really, really like that stuff, and it's like, whoa, wow.
Especially when they overcome that. When they overcome that win, perfect example.
Correct. Yeah.
Arturo Gatti.
Yes.
Everybody loved the blood and guts warrior. Everybody loved to watch him. He knew he was going to get cut.
Yes. Yeah.
He was going to get cut, and he always delivered. Man. Oh man. Just like, wow. I mean, just like the gentleman last night, he fought for the championship. What's it? Holloway? Max Holloway. Man, you talking about a talented fighter that could put his hands and feet together like I've never seen anybody else do it. I mean, like I said, when I was fighting, they had the guy out there called, his name was African American guy. Give me a second. I can't remember the whole name. They called him his name was Sugarfoot. Wallace.
Yeah, Sugarfoot Wallace.
Bill Wallace.
You know what I mean? I was just like, man, dude. Well, no, not Bill Wallace. There's another guy. There's another one. I can't remember the name. It'll come to me though. It'll come to me. Yeah. Well, this guy had. I mean, this guy. He was really, really good. He could use his feet like a person uses his hands. And he had a front snap kick that was just. I mean, it was just vicious. And it was fast. He could just hit you with a number of different kicks, and I was just like, man, this is amazing. And to watch, you know, Holloway puts his combinations together just like that.
Honestly, as a fight fan, I mean, I was pushing for Max because I honestly thought that Max won the second fight that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Volkanovski's a tank.
Yeah.
He's a little tank. He's like, oh, man, he was a pro rugby player, and he cut weight from like 214 pounds down to where he's at now.
Wow.
You know, and it's like, yeah, I mean, his chin, and, you know, he's ferocious. You see everything he do is mean. It's everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, Max was trying to, you know, Max is a pressure fighter. He likes to fight on the outside because, you know, he's tall for the division, and he's a volume fighter. He liked to put a lot of, you know, he wanted to touch you until, you know, then he'll start snapping hard, and then he'll KO you at the end. I mean, Max only has one speed, fast and fastest.
Yeah.
You know, he starts slow, and then he starts fast, and just keeps that pace all the way through.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I was expecting, but unfortunately, you know, Max will probably say it is what it is.
Yeah.
He got caught. And talking about leaking and, you know, his eye.
Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, that was, I mean, just the fact that when he did get cut and he was leaking, I was just like, man, I mean, and usually when blood is in your eye, you have a hard time seeing out of that eye. So I was just wondering how he was even going to survive that. And he wind up surviving the whole fight. And I was just like, now this guy is really, really a great fighter. And more importantly, I've said this before, it matters who is in your corner. That your people in that corner, if you're leaking the way he was leaking, they got to be able to stop that bleeding, you know?
You got to give props to the cutmen that were.
Oh, yeah.
They don't, in MMA, you have the, I think it's not appointed, he's not in your corner. You don't appoint your own cutman.
Mm-hmm. Not like boxing.
Yeah. It's the state commission that, or I think it's either the promotion or something that provide the staff when it comes to like cutmen like that. You said it last night. Yeah. That, you know, they were all trained by who?
I said Jacob Stitch Duran. It seemed like. You know, so.
It was amazing though how he stopped the cut. That guy, I give total props to that guy who was working on that.
Oh yeah.
You could put a thumb in that cut.
Oh my God! Did you see how deep that was?
Oh my Lord!
Yeah. Oh. I mean, and I'll be honest with you. In boxing, they probably would have stopped the fight. Yeah. You know, I mean, that cut was so deep. I was just like, Jesus, see how deep that's going inside of his head? Yeah. Unbelievable.
You see the Q-tips going? Oh,
man. Yeah. I was just like, wow. I mean, you know, there was a cut like that in boxing, and they stopped the fight. I believe it was Badu Jack. He had something where right in the middle of his forehead was a really, really huge gash in his forehead. And, you know, eventually they stopped the fight. I mean, you know, Badu Jack didn't, you know, I know inside, you know, the heart of a fighter, they won't stop, you know. So, yeah. And that's the danger of being a fighter, is sometimes you don't know when to stop because there's no quit in you, you know, and that's what makes a fighter, you know. That's what makes that warrior spirit, you know. You know, that and that's a great achievement, you know, just to see that kind of courage to come out of a person like that, you know. It's just amazing, man. Last night what I saw. Also we saw two MMA fighters retire, one female and one male. You know, I was like, wow. That, I mean, yeah.
I thought the third one might have happened, especially with I thought Robbie Lawler was going to actually, you know, throw the gloves in there too. But, you know, let's go through the first woman that retired. You know? I mean, when you look at Jessica Ai, I mean, Jessica Ai's been there for a while. She's been there, you know, a good decade. And, you know, she's been to the top. She had her try at the championship, and she fell short. And, you know, I mean, it's understandable. You know, like overnight you get old, you know. Yeah. She wanted to go. It wasn't in her anymore, and she wanted to throw her gloves in the ring, and more to her.
Yeah, and you know, and what sometimes people don't understand is, you know, the more you are inside that ring, or you inside the you know, the octagon, for every fight that you fight, you lose a piece of yourself inside of that ring, you know. And a lot of people don't understand. that, and that's what, that's what is, people want to become fighters. They understand what they're going to put themselves through. And but you leave a piece of yourself inside that, octagon or the ring every time you fight, and that's why they have to have these long layoffs so that they can heal and mentally heal. Yeah. And that's what sometimes people don't understand, that they just think that they could just keep doing this and keep doing this. No, it takes something out. It takes a lot out of you, man. It takes a lot out of you.
In the training itself.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Yes.
recovery from training itself, and trying to better yourself.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Once you hit a certain level, it's like, okay.
Yeah. And it's a reality that fighters have to deal with every single day, that every time they step into the ring, whether it is in training or if it's a fight, that any moment, one punch could seriously injure them, or they possibly could, lose their life. Now, we hope and pray none of these things happen to the fighters, but that is the reality of it, and because you can't play these sports. These sports are for real,
You cannot play.
Yeah.
You cannot play fighting.
Yeah. So
Cannot play fight sport.
yes. And these are the seriousness of these games, and and I'm just like, man, I mean, what I saw last night, I was just like, this is amazing, And again, I would tell all you boxing guys that are out there, y'all better up your game. I'm telling you right now.
Between true diehard boxing fans.
Yeah.
And the MMA crowd. You have the casual fans on both sides.
Right.
And there's always been this war of MMA is the new thing, and boxing is dead, and
right.
This back and forth.
Right.
Regardless, I'm a fight fan. I like all of it.
Right.
These guys, put everything into it, and they deserve a show. They deserve,
exactly
the respect they get.
Yes.
And regardless, if you can say boxing's this, boxing's that, boxing's limited to hands. MMA is more of wrestling and hug fest. And
right.
It's not exciting, but when the crossovers there, it's totally 100%. I mean, I'm wondering how come Glory Kickboxing isn't as popular.
Right.
Glory Kickboxing isn't as popular in the States as it is outside of the States. It's one of those things like a sport like soccer. Soccer internationally is the sport of the world. But when you come to like the US, it doesn't.
Well, yeah, but you know what though? There is a few things that can make the sport popular, and one of the things that can make the sport real popular that Glory could do is they have to have really, really good fighters that people really want to see, and that's something that it's hard to find these really, really good fighters now, because most of your stuff is either boxing or MMA. I mean, Glory Kickboxing. I mean, hey. I mean, they have good fighters, but they got to have someone out there that has that showmanship, so.
Case in point, though, I mean, I think the MMA crowd is actually giving shine to the Glory Kickboxing, because, if you look at the last night's fighters.
Yeah.
Izzy.
Yeah.
Was an ex-Glory fighter.
Yeah.
Alex Pereira was another Glory fighter. A lot of people, came from kickboxing. Overeem was a Glory Kickboxer. It's like when you see them, Gokhan Saki, who fought for the UFC a little bit, is now, he went back to Glory, actually.
Right, I see.
So, it's one of those things like, yeah, you want to see the exciting, striking and stuff. Glory Kickboxing needs to be up there.
Right.
Or any lion fight, with a traditional Muay Thai fight.
Right. Yeah.
Like, how come it doesn't get that much shine? Well,
right. Yeah. Well, but Muay Thai, that Muay Thai that comes out of Thailand is a whole different other animal.
Exactly.
It is a whole different animal. I mean, oh yeah. I mean,
the elbows. The elbows.
Ooh.
Yeah, we gotta talk about elbows too.
Yeah.
Segue for the Robbie Lawler and Barbarino fight.
Oh yeah. So there's a lot when it comes to the pugilistic sports that we could talk about, and we could probably talk all day about this, and I don't think we'll have a boring conversation. It'd be something that people really want to listen to, so it's just amazing. It is just amazing what I saw last night on that MMA card. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I'm a former fighter, and I respect all fighters, no matter what discipline that they're coming from, because I learned over the years, it doesn't matter which one that you're in. If it helps you, then keep doing it. That's how I see it. You know, um, because you got to be like water. Basically, you have to be like water. You got to be able to flow. And getting back to my man Holloway, I was disappointed that he lost because like you, I thought he won the second fight also. And they didn't give it to him. I was really disappointed because it would have made this third fight, I mean, even that much better because it would have been 1-1. So I mean, I was like, okay, but if I know Holloway will be back.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Max will always
yeah.
he'll just dust it off and come right back.
Oh yeah,
He'll clear out the division until he has to fight Volkanovski again.
yeah,
And he'll come back.
Yeah.
I was kind of worried because Max is getting older, and he's off to other pastures now.
Oh, yeah.
Streaming on Twitch. He has a whole bunch of other endorsements outside. He just got married. Recently in the last year, I think. And so, he might be looking on the other side of the fence now, but I really hope he doesn't because he's the most exciting, pressure fighter I've seen, especially with his hands.
Yeah.
Especially when you get to Cater.
Oh yeah. Man. Oh my God. Yeah. Woo.
When you fought Cater.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just unbelievable, man. These guys, the talent that's there, and you know what? This one other guy, I was disappointed last night, but not, I was disappointed, but I'm still excited. I want to see him fight. Is the Sugar Show?
Sugar Show, Shane O'Malley.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a minute because he's getting by on his reflexes and everything right now.
Right.
He's a young kid until he gets really tested.
Right.
I mean, I seen him break against some no-name fighter with calf kicks.
I
forgot who it was. It'll come to me. But when you look at Pedro, though, I mean, his past 4 or 5 fights have been against champions. Jose Aldo, he fought against Dominic Cruz, the fake king, fake king.
Yeah.
KO'd him.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is going to be a real test.
Yeah.
O'Malley.
Yeah.
If you look at it in the first fight before the unfortunate accident that happened, no spoilers, but before the accident happened, Pedro was winning.
Yeah, he was winning the fight. Yeah.
Give him the first.
Yeah, he was tearing his calves up. He was tearing them up. And and I don't know if people out there understand what leg kicks do to you. Okay? You know how in boxing they tell you hit the body and then the head the head will fall. Yeah. Well, it's the same thing and when it comes to MMA and kickboxing. Kick the legs and everything else will crumble, especially the legs. The worst kicks that you can get is an inside leg kick. Oh my God. If you guys, oh my God. Yeah. In the thigh, above the knee, on the inside of your leg. Woo.
You won't walk for like a good week.
Oh my God. And if you're in a fight where even if your legs are built up, and you are getting continuously kicked in your leg, you may not be walking for 2 weeks because your legs are going to be all bruised up and possibly blood clotted in your legs and everything else. And people don't understand how dangerous that really is, So, being, like I said, a former kickboxer, I know what it feels like. And believe me, it's very, very painful. Very, very painful.
Okay. Back to your kickboxing, I want to ask you this. I forgot the name of the fight that brought the ties on the map with leg kicks. It was against a former regular kickboxer.
Oh, that was yeah, Rick Rufus. Yeah, Rick Rufus. Yeah.
Rick.
Yeah.
Rick Rufus. And who was the Thai fighter?
I don't remember the name of the Thai fighter, but I remember Rick Rufus, man. Oh my God, dude.
The first round, he had him.
Yeah, he did have him in the first round. But the problem with that is he was only good for the first round. That was it. That's what the problem was. Yeah. Yeah, that was it. He just chopped him down and that was it. And I believe after the fight, Rick Rufus had to go to the hospital. It was that serious.
then he started training the leg kicks.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
Yeah.
American kickboxing was all about, you know, the flashy hook kick.
Yeah.
You know, the side kicks, the front kicks.
Yeah. Yeah. And like
Brutal.
I said just a few minutes ago, that Muay Thai is a whole different animal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
think it's the most prominent when it comes to, you know, stand-up striking.
Yeah. It is. It's very, very brutal. Very, very brutal. You know,
Yeah,
so
Burmese fighting too. I mean, yeah, all the other martial arts styles, Krav Maga,
Mhm.
and all that other stuff. But when it comes to 8 limbs,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
the hardest limbs that you got.
Oh yeah. That Muay Thai ain't no joke. That's some serious stuff. You know, and you know a lot of guys out there don't. You know, they don't if they never followed Muay Thai or kickboxing. You know, some of them wouldn't understand. You know, only some people get somewhat of a concept. And I hate to say this is what Hollywood put out. You know, and it's like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, really, that's not the game. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you guys really want to see some really good kickboxers, then look at these Muay Thai fighters, and then you tell me what you think afterwards. You know, I mean,
the way they
yeah,
use their knees. Oh my god, the
yeah,
leverage they gain.
yes,
Everything.
yes,
What their roundhouse kick is not. Muay Thai roundhouse kick is not.
yeah,
Compared to a regular, you know, karate roundhouse or a taekwondo roundhouse.
yeah,
Muay Thai, the way they point their toe, they gain leverage on how they. It's a baseball bat.
yeah. Well, it's a baseball bat, and it's more. Have you ever seen an alligator whip its tail at you to knock you off your feet? Have you ever seen that?
I can't honestly know.
Okay, well, if you watch an alligator, when an alligator, you know, when he whips his tail at you, watch how he whips his tail. That's what that kick is supposed to represent. The way he whips that tail like that. So, I mean, it's amazing, dude. It is amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, it's really amazing. So let's talk a little bit about Izzy.
Okay, let's go with the main event. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we got Izzy and Jared Kennedy.
Yeah. You know, you know what got me last night with Izzy was the way he walked out to the Undertaker's to the Undertaker. Yeah, had the urn in his hand. Yeah, I was dude, I was cracking up. I was like, wow, this is great. It was just something to see, you know. I was like, wow.
So when he went out against for his first fight, you know, when he won the championship in Australia against Robert Whittaker, I mean, he had a whole dance routine. He was breakdancing before the event started. It was great.
Yeah,
he's a pure showman.
A pure showman. Yeah, and see, and that's what the fans like. The fans like that. You know, no matter whether you boxing fans or you MMA fans, karate fans, it don't matter. That's what the fans want to see. You know, and we have to see more of that showmanship. You know, that's why I was a little disappointed with, like I said, the Sugar Show. I wanted to see this kid fight because, you know, I've been hearing a lot about him, so I wanted to see this kid fight, and I was hoping that last night he would have pulled it off, but it was a no contest. You know, so.
We didn't finish that whole thing. Okay,
yeah.
So
yeah.
The Sugar Show happened. I mean, he was fainting from the outside. He wanted to use his hands. You know, he was fainting a lot. Pedro kept up with the leg kicks. He knew that was his weakness, and he tried to keep attacking his legs. And then, unfortunately, in the second round, he got eye poked.
You got eye poked. Yeah.
Pedro came in there with 2 jabs, and O'Malley. I mean, it was purely unintentional.
Yeah.
I mean, his fingers were pointed at the sky.
Right.
It was just, you know, Pedro's so short.
Yeah.
And so, you know, he tried just to push him away, and I think one of his index fingers or middle finger went straight into his eye. And it went black for like a good, I don't know if he's seen his vision right now, but you know, it was good. I mean, you could see him with the doc. He had his eyes closed forever. They tried wiping it up. He couldn't see anything. Yeah. And so the doc stopped the fight. Yeah.
That was. Yeah, and I was kind of disappointed because I really wanted to see that kid what he has in the tank. You know. How would he adjust to an actual real veteran? You know, and that's the big test that, you know, like in boxing, I hear about. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Let's go to this guy. Okay, Jaron Boots Ennis. You know, everybody is saying Jerron Boots saying this, he could do this, he could do that, but he does it better than this, and he does it better than that. You know, he could fight right-handed, left-handed. He's a power hitter. He could fight on the inside. He could do this. Okay, he did all that. But has he been really, really tested with that's basically, has anybody tested it? No. Yes. Yes.
Overcome adversity.
Exactly.
You want to see a young prospect, because before I used to be like, oh, this kid got tools and
right.
He's going to be the next best thing since sliced bread.
Right.
Until he gets clipped.
Yeah.
Perfect example was I was really hot on this kid back in I think 2000. His name was Francisco Panchito Bojado. He had the speed. He was Mike Tyson-ish with the speed and reflexes until he got clipped, and then he got outboxed, and then the mental game kind of. I was like, oh, okay, so that's what it's about.
Well, see, and that's something else that people don't realize. You got to have, not only do you have to have the physical paralysis, you got to have the mental also.
Agree.
You know, you got to have that mental. If you're not prepared mentally, then you know you're not going. You know, hey, your physical ability is only going to take you so far.
That's what makes the fight is so great, though. And you see them like face adversity, and then they change their fight plan. And they find a way to win. That's what I'm. And all the time.
Yeah, and like you said, you know what? I used to like the knockouts. Okay, and don't get me wrong, everybody likes a good knockout, but I would much rather sit there and watch the technical fight unfold.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's the fight plans of both fight plans, the counter on counter. What is one fighter going to do when this fighter does this? And you see him change.
Yes.
The fight.
Yes.
You see the adjustments.
Yes, that's right.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's what makes a fighter great.
And
that's why I'm just pure fan.
Yeah, and that's what the hardcore fans are looking for. They want to see those adjustments and all that sort of stuff. They're gonna say, "Man, did you see the way he adjusted in that fifth round to what the other guy was doing?" I mean, it's just amazing to watch that. But you know, sometimes when a guy go in there and get clipped, you know, it's like, okay, well, that was exciting all the way up until the guy got clipped. Okay, so what's next? You know what I'm saying? What's next? Okay, like perfect example. Let's look at Rolly Romero and Tank Davis. Okay, now Rolly still believes that he was winning the fight.
Maybe a round or two, but I don't think he was winning like he thinks he was winning.
Exactly, you know, and I was just like, is this guy delusional? Or, I mean, did he get hit? Did he get hit too hard? You know, is he punch drunk? I mean, what's going on with this dude? Because
it probably is, because Tank's left at home, man. That was brutal.
That was
walked right into it. I mean, it was one of those, it was a perfect counter.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that, you know, Tank would be like, I wasn't even my hardest punch. It's just perfect timing.
Right.
You know?
And see, that is the key right there in you know, and basically in any pugilistic sport is timing and positioning, you know, and time. Those are the two major points right there: timing and positioning, or positioning and timing, which however you want to slice it. That's the way it is. So, and if you got good positioning and you understanding timing, then yes, you're gonna knock the guy out. And what people don't understand is there's a window of opportunity that when a person throws a punch, he throws the punch out there. When he's pulling that punch back, there's that brief moment right there that he has to react in order to get his punch in, more than likely, so he can drop the dude, you know, or get him a nice, strong, effective punch, you know. So
and that's where the fake game comes in.
Yes.
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 I mean, it's one of those things that, like, okay, you're trying to make your opponent do a certain way to react.
Correct.
And then you react upon what they're reacting.
Yes.
So a counter upon a counter.
Yes.
It's, you know, you can have a guy that can go pure offensive and a guy that could be pure defensive. And, you know, they're going to find spots in between.
Yes.
And that's what they're trying to look for.
And that's why I think Rolly Romero wants a rematch with Tank, because he realized, like he said, man, I just got caught with a good shot. I just went into a good shot. Well, Rolly, I mean, you walked into that shot. What's going to happen the next time? I mean, you know.
You want to walk into another. You know,
yeah. I mean, you know, next time you don't know what Tank is going to bring. You don't know, because he already knows he can knock you out. So you don't know what kind of destructive, aggression he's going to bring the next time towards you. You know what I'm saying? Now, people can say the same thing about Rolly. You don't know what he's going to do. Well, okay, I think Rolly's got a lot more to work on. I didn't think he was really ready for a Tank Davis fight, but that's just me. I thought he should fought a little bit more, got some more experience under his belt before he fought Tank. That's my opinion. So I know the Rolly fans are gonna hate on me and gonna say all kinds of craziness, but all I can say is this ain't no joke, man. This is a serious game, and guys get hurt in this game. So yeah, they get hurt in this game. So let's get back to it's in Cannoneer. That was a really good fight because Izzy couldn't.
Technical long fight.
Yeah, Izzy couldn't do
I was watching both of them.
Yeah, he couldn't do the things that I wanted him to do.
Tribute to Cannoneer.
Yeah,
because
he had a great game plan. I was just like, wow, this guy. Although he couldn't really match Izzy's with his hands and his feet, he couldn't really match that. But Izzy was pretty much hitting him at will almost. I was just like, geez, man, this man.
In the beginning,
yeah.
When you looked at how they came out first round, once the bell rang,
Mm-hmm.
You saw Cannoneer come out and he tried it, and I think it was like within the first 2 seconds, he landed one of those hard leg kicks.
Oh yeah.
And it made him think.
Yeah.
About the rest of the fight, because that's how Izzy fights.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll chop your leg down and get you with that one good shot, and then everything is a feint fest.
Yes, and getting back to what I said before, leg kicks. There's no joke.
You see how Izzy was backing him up without even throwing it?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
He was backing him up by just a pure feint. And Izzy fights straight stand up. Because he's tall for the division. I give him that. He's 6'4". He's like John Jones tall. 6'4".
Yeah.
And of course he's going to use that. You notice how he kept his hand out there, like jab hand. He kept it out there. Sometimes when he brought it back, he did the stab jab.
Yes.
Just popped him in through the guard. Didn't even know it was coming.
Yeah, and you know what? Let's talk about that stab jab that he used last night.
Yeah.
Woo! That was amazing. That was an amazing jab.
And it was through the guard.
Yeah, right through his guard. Yeah.
It was through the guard.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And
that's how he fights. He gets your attention one way, and then he switches up to the hands. Or he starts with the hands and goes down low. You won't expect it. And next thing you know, you're like, it's the 5th round, and he got you 5-0.
Yes.
And you start being desperate in the 5th round. It's like, that's why he's the champ.
Yeah. And
his game plan, he has A, B, and C. His fight IQ is like 100 plus. You can't match him right now when it comes to he's on the top of his game right now. The only reason why he lost in MMA that one time is because he bit off more he could chew. He went up in weight. He went up to I think 205, which is light heavy. He was yapping and yawning trying to fight John Jones too. But at light heavy at 205, you're fighting actual heavyweights up there. That are killing themselves to make 205.
Yeah, and that's a tall task to, you're
talking about people that are 260 plus, that cut just to make that one night at 205.
Oof.
And then the next day, they're back up at 220, 230.
Well, after the weigh-in, they already starting to put back on weight.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, so they only, like you said, that one day, but fight night, they may be bigger than the 205.
Right.
Right. So all that makes a difference too, So
Izzy, I don't think cuts much weight to get to 85. Where he's at. It's perfect weight for him. He's naturally skinny. You don't see the much. He has the fast twitch muscle. It's like slender, boxerish. He's not. He's kind of a toothpick. He's kind of small.
Right.
Whipping motion that he creates, his timing, speed.
Oh yeah.
His length.
Yeah.
That's what makes him the champ right now.
Yeah, and he got hands too. He
got hands.
Yeah, he has hands. And because it was for a long time when you used to see the MMA fighters, you look at them, you go like, man, these guys can't box. But over the years, these guys have gotten 100 times better than what they, from what they came from.
They to be fair though,
Yeah.
I mean that was Izzy and Alex Pereira's. They're kickboxers.
Yeah.
So they're natural strikers.
Right.
They've been training hands, feet since there was young wee lads.
Yeah.
Compared to like a wrestler that's coming into the game.
Yeah.
They just like DC, for example, he just got into the Hall of Fame at 31.
Right.
They were saying he decided he was wrestling. He was an Olympic AAA, wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
He had all the medals. Once he was done with wrestling, he decided to transition over to MMA, where he had to learn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Imagine trying to learn striking. I mean, he was 31 when he started learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And go ahead.
No. Another fighter that now that we're talking about it, and I gotta mention this guy. I love this guy. I mean, I really, really love everything about him. Conor McGregor. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. This guy he's amazing, man. I mean, when he got into the ring with Mayweather, okay, yeah, granted, Mayweather beat him in a boxing ring. But the crossover, yes.
Boxing pressure is not the same as the MMA pressure.
I agree with that 100%.
Yes,
I agree with that 100%.
It's 3 minutes of moving around and having somebody pressure you.
Yeah.
And you're only limited to your hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, if Floyd was in MMA, it'll be a different story because now Floyd has to mentally think about getting taken down or getting a foot to the face.
Correct. Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different pressure.
Well, he also got to think about knees and elbows.
Exactly.
And
different.
Yeah.
Not just hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he tells not to do anything in MMA,
correct. Yeah.
It's going to be. I'm sure it will for the hands.
Yeah. And
the way you stand.
Yeah.
In boxing compared to a leg kicker.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you. If you stop and you think about it, if Floyd was in the Philly shell and he was going up against me and I was throwing leg kicks, I'll tear him apart.
Yeah.
I'll tear his arms apart because my legs are a lot stronger than my arms are. Now, will Floyd stay there? Hell no. I know he'll move, which is common sense, because Floyd is like one of them guys like, man, I ain't gonna get hurt, and I can't blame him one bit. That's just smart fighting, But
you heard the rumors though,
yeah.
Right? Like I think Floyd is doing an exhibition in Japan soon.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was. I mean, the last kid he fought in Japan was an MMA fighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know who. I don't know who he's fighting. This is recent. I think.
Yeah.
But I think it's pure boxing though. Right?
Yeah, most of them going to be pure boxing.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to go and jump into the MMA world or any of that other stuff. Yeah, I don't think he's going to do that. Yeah, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't do it. I mean, Floyd, I love him. I love him to death. I love him to death. Yeah.
Technical fighter.
Yeah.
In a long time.
Yeah. Long time. So, but I mean, Floyd.
I know he probably hates hearing that, if it was MMA, I'm sure everybody throws that at him.
Yeah.
If it was MMA, if it was a real street fight, oh, come on. I mean, Floyd he's been boxing all his life. Boxing, squared circle, hands only. It's fine.
You know what? When it comes to saying something like that, it's the first person that get off. You know what I'm saying? If it's in the street, it's the first person that get off. Okay.
There's no such thing as a fair fight in the street.
Exactly, and the bottom line to it is, Floyd is so fast and so quick. I don't think too many people would even want to run into that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So whether he was MMA or boxing, whatever, I don't think people really want to run into that. I mean, he ain't the best in the world for nothing. In fact, all these guys that are, in these pugilistic sports, these guys ain't nothing to really mess with out in the street. Just leave them. Yeah, these guys ain't nothing. Leave them cats alone. Yeah. Yeah, leave these guys alone, let them. Yeah, I mean, you got to be really crazy to be messing with some of these dudes, you know what I mean? So, but then you got knucklehead out there who always want to try somebody,
Try test.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it is what it is.
Conor McGregor, I don't know when his next fight is coming. I don't know who he's gonna fight. I mean, he came off a really horrible injury when he snapped his leg, and everybody's waiting for who he's gonna fight, and people like Nate Diaz, know, the other fight when they did,
Mm-hmm.
Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
A lot of people are throwing their hand right now because you know Connor's a cash cow.
Yeah, yeah, he is.
Total crossover.
Yes, he is. He's the man. He's the man. You know. And last night, what's his name? I guess he's going down in history. Was Cormier?
Yeah, DC. Daniel Cormier.
Yeah, Daniel Cormier. Yeah.
He's out in San Jose, aka.
Yeah.
He's at AKA.
Yeah. And he started pretty late. 31 years old, and he started striking at 31 years old.
He started striking at 31 years old, and that was after his wrestling career, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had a prestigious wrestling career.
Mm-hmm.
And so once he jumped into, AKA down in San Jose, of course, a lot of good fighters came out of AKA. Kung Lee was out of there, and a lot of good strikers were out of there. Shamrock was part of that for a little bit, too. Right?
Yeah.
A bunch of other people came out of AKA. I mean, you have Khabib Nurmagomedov, lightweight champion.
Yeah.
He's the guy that beat Conor.
Yeah.
That's what he does, though.
Yeah. And
he smashes you.
Yeah. I didn't know that Kung Lee came out of AKA because I actually met Kung Lee, and I believe it was in Vallejo. There was some there was some kickboxing that was going on, and Kung Lee was doing he was fighting, and he was doing some San Chow. He was doing some San Chow in the San Chow match, and I had the opportunity to meet him. And actually, Kung Lee was actually a really, really cool guy, dude.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he was super cool.
I met him a couple times.
Yeah, he was really cool.
Kung Lee is, everyone was waiting for that guy.
Yeah.
To transition to MMA because the Sancho rules, you see how the takedowns are in Sancho.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So everybody thought he was just going to go blitz. He had a stint.
Yeah,
UFC.
And then
he had a stint in Strikeforce.
Yeah. And then he did his thing, and he started making some movies after that.
That's right.
And hey, you know what? I can't blame the guy. I can't blame him one bit.
Yeah. Talk about this also. Cowboy Cerrone, who also retired.
Oh yeah.
He also retired after losing to Jim Miller in a rematch, and Jim Miller got that guillotine on him, and it was over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what struck me was exactly what he said. At the end of the fight, he's like, "It's not in me anymore." I get it. It's like, I'm gonna go be a movie star, baby, which he is.
Yeah.
He's doing movies with Gina Carano. He just came out with the other movie that came out.
Wow.
I forget the name of it. So, he's a great fighter.
Yeah.
It's like everybody on short notice. He fought everybody. From lightweight to welter.
Yeah.
I honestly think he did his best at 170.
Yeah.
He didn't have to cut the weight.
Yeah, he didn't have to, but he, and I was just like, wow, these guys just laid it down right there inside the octagon. That was it. Yeah, he just laid it down. And let everybody know.
Kids into the ring.
Yeah,
that was great.
That was it. Yeah, let them know.
It kind of stole away from Jim Miller's victory, though. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah, it did.
He was about to give him, the interview. Jim just said, "Oh, he looked at him. He was going to do it."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, he got other business."
Yeah.
And he turned and looked, and Joe turned around and was just like, "Oh, you're really going to do this?"
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when it all came out. It was like pure, I don't think anything was staged there. It was crazy. It was.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
Well, it was that.
Everybody understands.
Yeah. Now, see, the question of it is what the question I would like to ask him was, he planning on retiring from that fight if he won, win, lose, or draw. Yeah. Was he planning on retiring? That's the question I would like to know. So because just that he lost the fight, and he just said it's not in him anymore. So I would assume that win, lose, or draw, that was it. Yeah, he was done. So, and then, what makes a fighter say, that's it, it's not in me no more? That's the question right there. It's a tough thing. I've been doing this too long, and I survived. Mike Tyson said it the best. Plan until you get punched in the mouth. You know what I mean? So, or
punched in the face for a living is, not
it's not an easy living, and it's not something I would suggest that people do. if you choose to do it, then you choose to do it, but it's not something I would tell people that this is the best way for you to make a buck. It's a long, tough, hard road, so, and your endurance has got to keep up, and that motivation and everything has got to keep up, so.
Well, as a combat fighter yourself, your years are limited.
Oh, absolutely.
Your body can do so much.
Yeah.
With all the training, you tear down and rebuild, rinse and repeat for two decades, maybe.
Yeah.
A decade. It's limited.
Yeah.
And you have to realize that at the end of it, what you hate is to see boxers keep going and holding on to it. Like how Ali did at the end of his career. I mean, there's no shadow how great he was. But somebody should have been there to say, like, hey, look, it's time to hang him up, champ.
Yeah.
I mean, another person that did it right was Hagler.
Yeah.
Once he fought Leonard, and that was it. Disappeared. Done.
Yeah, but
went to Italy and became a movie star.
Yeah. Yeah. But that fight with Leonard and Hagler, it's still, to me, it's still like a mix up because, back in the day, you had to knock the champion out in order to win the fights, but all these,
you watch 15 rounds to 12 rounds.
Right.
Every time I look at that fight, I'm looking at it like, okay, Leonard did that. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
I pointed him, first through.
Yeah.
X round, we could go into this. Every time I watch it, it's
yeah.
Who's the aggressor? Who's the ring general?
Right. But there's a lot of controversy with that fight still to this day, but what I don't understand is this. Sugar Ray Leonard fought Sugar Ray Leonard fought Marvin Hagler, but Sugar Ray Leonard would not fight Aaron Pryor.
He would not fight Aaron Pryor.
Yeah. He wouldn't fight Aaron Pryor. And I know the reason why, because, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, if you go back and start looking at their amateur careers, Aaron Pryor used to beat Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns in the amateurs. And I do understand that, so when you turn pro, you got caution to the wind, when a guy in the amateurs beat you, and he comes into the pros and, you haven't settled that with him, then, you're going to throw caution to the wind a little bit. It's kind of just like Terrence Crawford and Ugas. Ugas beat Terrence Crawford in the amateurs twice. So, but when...
Well, the thing is also this, is like Sugar Ray at his peak, I mean, he was not coming down the weight to fight Aaron Pryor.
No. But Aaron Pryor could have moved up to fight him, or they could have met at a catch weight. So there was a lot of reasons for them to fight, and that would have been a great fight, But
the thing is if Sugar Ray was doing this thing at 47.
Yeah. So
he was the champ at 47.
Yeah.
There's why. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's a hard question to ask. It's something I would like to ask Sugar Ray Leonard to his face. Why didn't you fight him? Talk to me. Come on, man. Tell me why. I mean, it's done and over with.
I'm sure because it was a different weight class.
A different weight class. But Aaron Pryor was looking to fight a great, great champion. That's why him and Alexis Arguello got into it. Exactly. So also, that's why.
I mean, when it comes to like the whole thing with Panama Lewis and the whole, he had won that scandal. I mean, if you were at 47 and you were cleaning up the division and you were the man at 47, would you want to go back down to like light?
Oh no. We'll meet at a catch weight. I would tell him meet me at a catch weight. If I would, if it was me, meet me at a catch weight. Let's go to a catch weight and let's fight. I mean, it's just that simple.
The money is right.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. That's the difference between the fighters of old and nowadays. Like when I was coming up, we would fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. It didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't matter. But the money wasn't there. They didn't have the marketing like these fighters got right now. And these guys, they put everything on the line. Back in the day. Nowadays, these guys got everything. They got They got the marketing. They got the big money that goes with the sport and everything. And then yeah, yeah, it was paved the way. Yeah, by he helped pave the way.
He was the original Golden Boy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and these fighters today, they have all these different opportunities and things like that. And then when I hear fighters saying they don't want to fight this guy and they don't want to fight that guy, I just like, oh, come on, man, really, come on,
What year would have been if Aaron Pryor was to fight Sugar Ray Leonard, though? Because in their primes, right? So what? Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to figure out the timeline here when it comes to the years. Because if I think back when Ray came out, that was '85 when he came out of retirement to fight Hagler.
Yeah, right? This was way before. This was
so when he was at 47, he was fighting when he fought Durant.
No, this probably would have been. Was that before or afterwards? That would be the question.
Right.
Yeah, that would be the question.
I'm trying to figure out the timeline there because see, if they were at their primes, they were both at
the
peak.
I know that Aaron Pryor went to one of the Sugar Ray Leonard's events when Sugar Ray Leonard was supposed to fight, and he walked up and he told him, "Champ, I want to fight you." So right. And then Sugar Ray just kind of basically brushed the whole thing off and talking about this is the Sugar Ray Leonard show, not the Aaron Pryor show. Kind of just brushed them off. He didn't even want to address the issue. So, and that's on video. All that's on video. So, and I was just like. I was like, man, come on, man. That would have been a great fight, to see that. That would have been a great fight,
But you look at it in Leonard's eyes, look who he had in front of him. I mean, so he had the Durant fights, he had the Tommy Hearns fights, he had Haggard was at the end of his career. I mean,
right. And
before that, Benitez, he had people that were
and Benitez. Hey, and Wilfred Benitez was no joke either. No, he was no joke. He was something else. Oh yeah. Oh man, there's a lot of great Puerto Rican fighters that people are not talking about. You got Wilfred Benitez, you got Edwin Rosario. I mean, I could go Trinidad. I can go on and on and on about the different Puerto Rican fighters that are out there, man. And. Oh yeah, but one of the most flashiest that was out there is the Macho Man, Hector Camacho. Yeah, and you know what was here? So what's so funny about that? Camacho, I remember when Camacho was coming up, and Camacho was one of those guys. He liked to fight. He just loved to fight. He'll steal a car in a minute. But he loved to fight, dude. Trust me when I tell you, bro. Camacho will steal a car in a minute, bro. Hey, look, as fast as you blink your eye, Camacho will steal a car. Just like that, Then when he started fighting, when Camacho started fighting, he realized that he was making so much money, he didn't have to steal cars anymore. So, so it turned his whole life around. And that's the good thing about boxing. It could turn your life around. And and Macho, we saw what Camacho did, man. So he was the man was something else. But there's one thing, there's one thing that Macho Camacho used to tell people, man, and it's hilarious. It was a club in New York that's called was called the Fabian, and Macho Camacho used to go there. I was there with a friend of mine. His name was Fred Somerville. And Fred Somerville at the time was in the Golden Gloves. So he said, hey, because he called me Tondo at the time. He said, hey, Tondo. He said, Camacho here. And I looked over. I said, where's he at? And Camacho got out of the car. Camacho he was geared down, and the man had a cape on. I was like, look at this fool. And he just walked into the club. They just let him in, And so Camacho's in there, he's sitting down, he just chilling, I think he was drinking water. He just chilling. Yeah. And some fool walked up to him and started talking crazy. And Macho Camacho told him, he said, man, stop getting silly before I drop you, man. Dude. And dude said something else, and that was it. I was like, wow, this dude is nuts. Camacho, man, hey, Camacho was the real deal, dude. I'm telling you. And that was way back in the day. Yeah, Camacho, man. Yeah, rest in peace, man. But he was something. He would, yeah, he he would tell fighters, hey, don't get silly. You get silly, I'm gonna knock you out. And another thing that I don't see fighters do that Camacho did, Camacho, when the bell rang, he ran over to the guy and started wailing on the guy. None of this, none of this feeling out, nothing like that. Camacho ran over to you and he just let you have it, dude. I mean, Macho Man, he was something else, man. I mean, some of these fighters, man, were just something else, man. Just something else. I had the opportunity to see Mustafa Hamshar fight. Unbelievable fighter, man. Just, I mean, like I said, Mustafa Hamshar. He was one of the ones that he fought Marvin Hagler. And Hagler wind up beating him because I think something happened in the first fight. They gave the fight to Mustafa Hamshar, but Hagler came back and then beat him, knocked him out. So I had the opportunity to see Mustafa Hamshar fight. He was amazing, dude. Just amazing. I mean, man, dude. I mean, I've seen so many great fighters, man, in great fights. It's like just wow. And I'm still looking forward to seeing more. And I know boxing's got a lot more to offer, and now MMA has got a lot to offer. Boxing, yeah, they got it. I'm telling you right now, because that card last night, again, from 3 o'clock to 10 o'clock, man, was a great card, man, of MMA action.
MMA fights.
Yeah.
I mean, you hardly saw it. I mean, there was some
Yeah.
round, but majority of the fights, I mean, I looked at it, I was like, wow, hardly any of this went to the ground.
Yeah.
And that's what, turns off a lot of the casual fans.
Right.
You get the wrestling, you get the clinch game, and
it
goes down to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
People don't understand what's going on the ground, when they're trying to position for arm
Right.
or jumps.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of boring to watch, but then at the same time, if you're a hardcore fan,
Yeah, but if you understand it,
it's exciting to see.
Yeah. If you understand it, then you'll get more out of it, So, and that's what's great about having these channels that we have, because people could come in and they could comment on and have questions, So, and that's and they could ask people that know, so those are all good things, man. All good things.
I can say, honestly, I mean, if you're new to MMA and you want to get into the whole mainstream part of it,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's okay to go ahead and watch The Ultimate Fighter. It's a show on TV.
Yeah.
It's a reality show on
Mm-hmm.
TV where you go and watch these fighters. They're amateur fighters that show up and they train every day, and you see the drama unfold, how they train. And
Right.
You see them fighting these amateur fights before they actually. I mean, the whole thing is to win a contract to fight for the UFC.
Correct.
So you can watch them and you can learn a lot because they tell you. I mean, exactly what the techniques that they're going through. The coaches are talking, commentating on, their fighter, and it's a real good, way to get into the sport.
Correct.
I kind of wish it was like that back in 90s, 94, 93.
Right.
Gracie's came out and shocked the world.
Yeah. You know what? Now that you mentioned that, you got, you mentioned about the Ultimate Fighter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you know what? Maybe boxing needs to come up with the Ultimate Boxer. You know what I'm saying?
There was something that already came out like that. I think it was called The Contender.
Yeah, but you know what? But you know what though? but you see, I think too that one thing about it is there's two things you got to have when you put you're gonna put a show together. The name has got to be catchy. Number one, that's number one. The name has got to be catchy. I mean, The Contender, I mean, for me, it's just like, okay, The Contender, I'm not really into it. But if you said The Ultimate Boxer, now when you say that leaves this, the sky is the limit when you say that. Because contenders,
just all marketing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So when you say The Ultimate Boxer, the sky is the limit when it comes to that, because you don't know what to expect. When you say a contender, usually your contenders are limited to certain skill level and that's it, and they pretty much can drop off. Then again, I could be wrong.
But at the same time, though, if boxing just went back to its roots and just had fights every Friday,
Well, yeah.
They don't have Friday night fights anymore.
Yeah, they need to bring that back. Yeah.
doesn't cover it anymore.
Yeah.
It used to be on, you know, they had the PBC a little bit, but it was
Right.
channel.
Right.
It was NBC.
Right.
You know, it was on NBC for a little bit.
Yeah. You know, again, now I'm gonna put this out there again. You know, Boxing Profiles is gonna be soon on Roku TV. So if you guys are promoters out there and you're looking for a platform that you want to go ahead and host your fights on, and we could do these fights live for you on Boxing Profiles TVs, which would be on the Roku channel. So I'm just letting you guys know, hey, we will be up and running real soon. I'm talking like in a matter of a week or two. So I'm just putting it out there. Also, PBC and any other promoters that are out there, if you're listening to this, Boxing Profiles will be on Roku TV, and we can air any sporting event. Okay, so you know, I'm just putting it out there and letting people know. And also, you know, for all you guys out there that are watching, we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. Please like and comment. Okay, if you have questions for me, you can ask me. Okay, you got questions for Theo, I'll make sure that Theo get all the questions, and we'll get everything answered for you guys. Okay, also we have another gentleman, his name is Jamon Lawrence, to be joining the show. Also, we're putting together a nice strong team that know about boxing and MMA and all other pugilistic sports. That's right, all other pugilistic sports. And we also know the best cut man in the business, Jacob Stitch Duran, baby. All right, guys, just so you guys know that. All right. And also, too, just to let you guys know, on Tuesday, I'll be back at you guys, be doing a live interview with Robert Parham at probably we'll start the show about 1:30. He is a 5-time world kickboxing champion. He's supposed to bring by maybe one of his titles, and he has a couple title rings. You know, I haven't seen a title ring in a long time, so he's supposed to bring those items by. And I hope everything works out that we are able to do this interview on Tuesday at 1:30. Tuesday at 1:30. You know.
Well, looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be good, because he has a lot of he wants to talk about this Earl Spence and this Crawford fight also. You know, again, you know my take on that. I'm leaning towards Spence on this one, and I don't care what the former fighters say, the ex-fighters and all these other people and the boxing analysts. I don't care what none of them say. Spence has the edge in the fight, period. That's, you know, and the reason why I'm saying that is because the level of competition that Spence has faced, he's faced Porter when Porter was in his prime. You know, he fought Kell Brook when he's in his prime. You know what I'm saying? Ugas is still in his prime. You know, so I mean, I could go on and on. Chris Algieri in his prime. I mean, I could just keep going and going. Spence has
Chris Algieri in his prime after Manny. Okay.
You know, no, well, no, yeah, no, well, no, still, he's still young. He was still young, and Chris Algieri's nutrition, all the stuff that he nutritionally eats, his body is he's still mentally and physically still there, you know. And these are the things that start to, you know, that starts to make a fighter old, is when, you know, the physical ability is gone, and when your physical ability is gone, your mental ability starts going to, you know, eventually. But Chris Algieri, you know, he eats properly and all these other things too. So when he fought Spence, you know, I was just like, man, this guy's in really good shape, because Spence was laying into him. I mean, man, you know, and again, Chris Algieri is a tough fighter. I mean, a former kickboxer. Yeah.
He's sharp with his hands.
Yeah, very sharp with his hands. He's a former kickboxer, and I think he was a world champion in kickboxing. So, you know, so I mean, the guy was, you know, he was up there, and you know, Chris Algieri, man, and he was something else. But again, I got to give the edge to Spence. Now, you know, again, Crawford fans are gonna say, "Oh man, you don't know what you're talking about," all this other stuff, whatever. But bottom line to it is, you know, I got to give the edge to Spence. I don't think Crawford really has.
Giving the edge to Spence based on previous.
Yeah.
His previous record.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna say this.
Opposition.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna say this. Okay. In Crawford's defense, if Earl Spence comes out and he keeps his weight on that front foot, instead of keeping it up underneath his groin where he has a better balance, then Crawford's uppercut is going to be working most of the night. Okay. So
the question is the uppercut coming from orthodox stance or a southpaw?
it won't matter. That's my point. It's not going to matter if Spence keeps all that weight on the front foot. If you look at Spence's fights, when Spence is fighting, he has a lot of weight on that front foot. Okay. So because usually he's putting that weight on there so he could dig down into the body. Okay. But Crawford, he can move pretty quick. And in the early rounds, if Spence is starting to dig into the body, let's say rounds 2 and 3, Spence starting to dig into his body, and Spence is keeping that weight on there, that's gonna slow Spence down a little bit, that uppercut, and then what's coming after that. So, and then the jab, Crawford's jab, because Crawford can move pretty good. So in defense of Crawford, I got to give him that, okay? But
you gotta give him a little more than, I mean,
well,
these guys are technically sound.
yeah, they're technically sound. Yeah. Yeah, they're technically sound, but what I'm seeing,
neither has fought anybody with the same caliber of jab as they have.
Well, true. That's true. So what we're gonna have to see is this, the way Spence is gonna come out, is Spence gonna do something that we haven't seen before? Because we know he's got more in his bag that he just haven't bought out yet. But we know what Crawford's gonna do. We know Crawford could fight orthodox. He could fight southpaw. We know that he could do a number of different things. So I don't think.
You don't think Crawford has the edge in timing?
No, I don't. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Nah.
You don't think he timed Amir Khan at all?
Yeah, but Amir Khan ain't Earl Spence. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? Amir Khan is not Earl Spence. Crawford's got great timing, but each fighter's a little different. You gotta.
That's why I gotta say that. Yeah. Okay, he timed a speedy fighter.
Yeah, but Amir Khan, though, Amir Khan was washed up, bro. He was washed up when he fought Crawford. I mean, Amir Khan was punching beer cans, or not beer cans, and soda cans up in the air, dude. I mean, come on, really? Come on now. I mean, there was nothing, now when Amir Khan was younger, okay, I think that would have been a whole different fight because of Amir Khan's speed. But when he fought Amir Khan was basically at the end of his rope. Kell Brook was basically at the end of his rope. I mean, when I saw weighing it, Sean Porter was basically, he's at the end of his rope a little bit there before he fought Crawford. But I'm not trying to take
within a year.
Yeah.
You're talking within a time frame of a year apart. Right?
Yeah. But here's what happens after you fight.
So when Spence beats Porter, compared to when Crawford beats Porter, you're saying that within that year he changed that much?
Yeah, because when Spence fights you, he takes a lot out of you. Ask. Yeah, hey, ask what's his name? Garcia. You can ask Danny or you can ask Mikey. They admitted it. They said, hey man, when you fight Spence, man, he takes a lot out of you. Danny Garcia didn't fight for 2 years, bro, after he fought Earl Spence. So I mean, hey, Danny, man, speak up, man. Tell us what's going on. What happened in that particular fight when that you took off so long? What I mean, that's the bottom line to it. He was talking about that. Yeah.
Like after he fought Danny Garcia, that was the COVID hit.
Yeah, well, COVID hit.
COVID hit after that. So
yeah, COVID hit. I guess. Hey, Theo. I guess Danny got COVID, huh?
No, it wasn't Danny got COVID. It was just that all promotion stopped that year.
Yeah. Well,
what I mean?
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Hey. Spence ain't no joke on his body attack, man. I mean, whew. I mean, that body attack that he's got, man, is, I mean, again, like I said, everybody said, man.
Name 5 fighters in the amateurs that became top 10 when Spence fought turned pro.
No, man, dude, you asking me, you making me go back. Okay, I'm still here. Let's see.
Have to, because when you talk about the pedigree that Bud lost to, okay, so when Bud fought in the amateurs, of course you could say that he lost to Ugas. You could say he lost to Danny Garcia. Lost to. But when they turned pro, they were top 10.
Okay, so yeah, you got.
You can't say opposition in the amateurs.
Okay, so let's see. I'll go with. We got Ugas.
Okay, that's one.
We got Keith Thurman.
In the amateurs.
Yeah, the amateurs. Yeah, Ugas, Thurman, Porter, Garcia.
Porter in the amateurs.
Yeah, these are all amateurs. When all these guys were in the amateurs around the same time.
And they fought Spence?
No, they didn't. I don't know if they all fought Spence.
That's my thing.
Yeah. Okay. So you want the 5 guys that fought Spence that are in the top 10?
In his amateur career, they're in the top 10 pros now. Because you keep saying that their amateur pedigree means a lot.
Well, yeah,
which is true.
Yeah, it does. It means a lot. Well, you know, again, that's a question. Then I would have to go and honestly and research that one. That's a good question, really good question. You know,
because when you look at the opposition that Crawford's fought in the amateurs, everybody that he's fought in the amateurs is at least top 10 and when they're turned pro.
Yeah, so far. So with Spence, I would have to go and look.
The fight that didn't happen in the amateurs was between Spence and Crawford.
Now, see, here's the thing too. When Spence first started off, I believe he started as a middleweight when he first started his first couple fights.
So he was at 60.
Yeah, so either at 60 or he was at 60. He started off as a middleweight. So I would have to really go back and look at that and see. That's
started as a lightweight. So
Bud started as a lightweight.
So when you come to 47, they knew they were going to see each other.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Remember when I said that all these guys know each other? They know each other, bro. These cats know each other. They know about each other's amateur record and all this other stuff. All these guys, they know each other.
You can't. I mean, I understand why you're giving the edge to Spence.
Yeah.
His style, I understand as a pure fan. If you're going to technically break him down, you're going to bring the amateur pedigree.
Yeah.
I understand for Bud because Bud in the amateurs has faced the better opposition.
Well, again, we'll have to agree to disagree. That's all I can say, and the only way that we're going to find out who is right and who's actually the better fighter is when the two fighters actually get in the ring and actually fight. I mean, it was a big discussion between about Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather for years and years and years, but when they finally got into the ring, it was Floyd that won the fight. But then again, a lot of people.
I got so much heat for that.
Yeah, I know. Then a lot. Hey, listen. But a lot of people said Pacquiao won the fight, and I was just like, I don't see how. Yeah, that's exactly what I said, because Pacquiao only he was at 9%. Okay, when he fought Floyd Mayweather.
Oh Lord. Okay, so I keep defending this. I mean, I took a lot of heat because I'm Filipino myself, right?
Right.
So I even told my own people, I was like, hey, look, Floyd's gonna beat him.
Right.
Like, what? You don't know this, that.
Wow, dude.
You know that Floyd is the technically sound boxer and has the tools to beat Manny when it comes to the squared circle. Yeah. When it comes to like pure boxing, there's no way.
Right.
There's no way Manny's gonna land.
Well,
it's impossible. I tried telling him that.
Yeah.
When to come fight night, of course, I got hated on.
Yeah, but you know what though? There was one. Okay, Manny was a great fighter, dude, and he still is a great fighter. But
speed, angles,
of course. But
of course, I mean, what beats speed and power?
Okay, true. How many times did Manny use his jab?
He couldn't.
Exactly. Exactly. He didn't have a jab.
He couldn't.
And that's what I didn't understand. How has this guy become that great of a fighter and he never used the jab?
He couldn't.
And that shows you right there on his ability that Manny Pacquiao had inside that ring. But you gotta give him his props.
You gotta give him his props, but you gotta also attribute that to Floyd.
Yeah.
Floyd's defensive ability and the way he times people in his feints is. He takes away your punches from you, so you don't throw them, so you don't get countered.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's a counter punch, because if the jab wasn't going to come in, the straight right hand was going to come down the pipe, and Manny got hit in the first round with that thing.
Right. Yeah.
And it made him think.
Yeah, made him think. Now,
this is just like what Izzy did.
Yeah, true.
He hit him with the leg kicking.
And yeah, exactly. Yep, that's right. That's right. Which is smart. Made him think. Now, there is another reason why I give Earl Spence I pick him over Terrence Crawford, and this really matters. Earl Spence also put hands on Floyd Mayweather in a sparring session.
Allegedly.
Yeah, well, there's guys that was there and actually saw it. In fact, I know someone personally that was actually there and seen it. So and they explained the whole thing to me. But then again, hey, I can still say that's allegedly. But correct. But but here's the thing. Here's the thing with it though. Here's the thing with it. Let's just say that everything happened and is 100% true. Okay. And he put hands on Floyd Mayweather. To do that is not an easy task whatsoever. So, I mean, if Earl Spence is doing that, I mean, that gives this man an advantage because he's been in there with the best in the world. So
we don't know his mindset. Of course, it was
Jim.
That's the thing. You don't know. Maybe Floyd was working on something.
It's one of those things. I don't know, but I do know this. That's when it comes to doghouse sparring, when it comes down to two fighters having a beef, they turn the clock off and they let these guys go for however long they can go, and that's only one round.
So you mean to tell me that Spence had this dogfight with Floyd in his gym?
In the gym. This is look. This is legendary. Hey, even Earl Spence is talking about it on the internet and all this other stuff. He's talking about it. So
after the fact that Floyd's not around.
So no, Floyd. I haven't heard Floyd deny none of it. I mean, if it was, I'm pretty sure Floyd. Floyd would tell you straightforward. If Spence was easy work, he would tell you straight up.
Just as petty.
You know what I mean? Yeah, he could be. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So I don't look at it as being petty. I chalk it up as experience as far as Spence because to get in the ring with the best in the world, man. I mean, that tells you a whole lot. Like when I was sparring, I sparred with Tony the Tiger Lopez when he had all 3 titles, and and believe me, man, I'm telling you, you talking about a boost of confidence and a boost to know where you could go in this sport if you're in the ring with this guy, and you could last in the ring with a champion that is one of the best in the business. That's going to tell you right then and there how far you can go. But if you make a mistake, you will pay.
When did this alleged gym fight happen?
This is, oh man, we talking years ago now. We talking about, oh man.
Was Floyd in his prime still?
Yes, Floyd was still in his prime. In fact, Spence was he was actually he was up and coming. He was training in the gym. Yeah. In fact, Floyd had gotten so mad from what was said was Floyd got so mad that he kicked him out the gym, and Floyd's eye was blackened. Okay. Now, here's the thing with that. Okay, we seen Floyd get hit a couple times. Zab Judah hit him. Shane Mosley hit him. Yeah. Oh man, Shane Mosley rocked him. Oh, whew,
First time he ever got rocked.
Yeah. He got rocked. So.
Castillo hit him.
Castillo hit him. Yeah, he hit him really good too. But what we're saying all that, I got to give that edge to Earl Spence. Now Crawford. But you know what though? Here's the thing though. I do know that gym wars happen. From being a fighter, I know that you got rivals inside of the gym. That you're constantly. You're constantly with these guys every day, and some of these guys don't like you. You know what I'm saying? They for whatever reason it is, and that's why you become rivals in the gym, and you have these gym wars with them. Because
at the same time though, against Spence, you're giving Spence on a hearsay gym fight. Okay, that's no different than when Paulie Malignaggi was sparring with Conor McGregor at the gym. And all that stuff came
I never
out.
heard about that one.
You didn't hear about that one?
No,
Polly
no, I never heard about that one. Paulie Malignaggi and Conor McGregor. I never heard about that one.
Connor hired him as a sparring partner
Uh huh.
him ready for Floyd.
Oh wow. Okay.
Right?
Uh huh.
And so they had a gym war.
Okay.
And there was a hearsay, between the two. And of course, Connor said he got the best of him. And, Paulie's just sparring. He's not really going all out. He's sparring. He's not like having a gym fight. How do you know that fight was really, they were going hard at it? I mean, how do we really know that they really were, turned it on 100?
Well, okay, I'll take.
That's one of those
Okay,
things that I could. It's hard to get behind.
I could speak from my own experiences. This is what I would tell you. Okay, my sparring partner when I was fighting. Okay, his name is Jesse Lopez Jr. Okay. Now, when me and him were sparring, I was a welterweight at the time, and Jesse was he was a middleweight, and in sparring, this is what happens. If I'm getting the better of him, and for some reason something triggers him on the inside, and then the man's gonna come back. That's what fighters do. Okay. And then at that particular moment, then something triggers me, and now I'm going to get the best of him. And next thing you know, gym war. That's what you got, because now the two fighters are bringing the best out of each other because you triggered something inside of him by putting hands on him. And believe me, no fighter wants you to put hands on him. Okay, no fighter wants that. Okay, and this is pure speaking from experience. No fighter wants you to put hands on him. You put hands on me, hey, bro, I'm telling you, I'm coming back. And when I'm coming back 100 times harder and 100 times better. And that's what triggered all these gym wars. And, for me, I would have to say, to hearing that, and then guys are not really kind of, really talking about it, and it just comes out, a couple years, years and years later, I believe that happened. Yeah. Because, and then the Mayweather's known for having these gym wars. They're known for that. That's what they do.
The Mayweather gym is no joke. I mean, they have a channel where they post some of their sparring.
Yeah. That's what they do. Yeah, that's what they do. I mean, and like I said, they get down to where, like I said, they turn the clock off and just say, we just gonna go to somebody drop, and that's just like, man, that's serious, bro. That's some serious sparring. And it's like that with pretty much any fighter. Well, yeah, like right now, there's a fighter down at our gym. His name is Okana Chukwuemeka. And so what's happening is with Okana is he's an amateur fighter, and I believe he has seven wins and he has one loss. And Okana has been in the ring with a couple professional fighters in Stockton, California. And I'm just not gonna mention their names, but Okana was more than likely kind of getting the best of the professional fighter, and the professional fighter basically started really going at him. I mean, really going at him, which triggered something inside of him, which is going to trigger something inside of Okana. So that's the bottom line to it. That's what happens when it comes to that warrior spirit. You're gonna trigger something inside, and then these guys are gonna go at it. That's what happens. So yeah. So and and under that little series that I'm going to be doing called the 21st Century Fighter, in fact, it's going to be about Okana Chukwuemeka, who is basically, he's an American, he's an American, but he's of Nigerian descent, and I believe he's 6'2", 168 or 165 to 168 pounds. He could fight orthodox and southpaw. So he's a switch hitter. and you know, he's still an amateur now. You know, he's currently he's still doing the amateurs, and he told me that possibly next year he may be looking at turning pro. He may be. I don't know for sure. I got to keep talking to him, and seeing and seeing what happens. You know.
Legit. I mean, when it comes to like the Nigerian descent, I mean, look at last night.
Oh yeah.
He's Nigerian descent.
Oh yeah.
6'4".
Oh yeah.
6'4", 185. I mean,
yeah.
these attributes are crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Kamaru Usman, you know,
Yeah.
he's another Nigerian champion in the UFC right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So
smoking everybody too. I
yeah.
didn't get it. You know, something in the water down there.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know, so I'm doing some work with O'Connor. Again, you know, like I said, you know, when I was fighting, my best offense is a great defense. Okay, so you know, I'm helping O'Connor out with defense, and just to make sure that the man has all the tools that he need to be a success inside the squared ring. You know, I see so many guys coming inside the ring. They don't have a great defense. You know, so I'm just like, wow. And you put these guys in there like that, you know, but hey, you know, you never know about the opposition though. You know what I'm saying? You just never know. Yeah, you just never know. So, you know, best offense is the great defense. You know, that's
well-rounded.
Yeah.
Is,
Yeah.
You know, more balance is the way to go.
Well, you know,
just stop on one. You know, you have to have all.
Well, yeah, and most of these fighters that are coming up today now, all these guys are basically we call them switch hitters. That's why I call them, you know, a new breed of fighter, because you know, when I was fighting, we pretty much stick to you know your offense, your defense, you know, and you know, I'm a natural southpaw, so for me, number one, I already gave a whole lot of fighters problems already because I'm a southpaw. That was number one. Yeah. So yeah, I had the advantage. So you know, but now these fighters are. I mean, they're switch hitting. They're changing. I mean, look at Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford's switching.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fighters that are like converting. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Oscar De La Hoya was one.
Yeah.
He's a natural southpaw, but he fought out of the orthodox stance.
Yeah, but you know what though? When it comes to Oscar De La Hoya, okay, everybody talks about Oscar De La Hoya, but we got to look at Oscar De La Hoya's roots. Oscar De La Hoya come out of the Mayweather gym.
Later on his career.
Yeah, later on in his career, he came out the Mayweather gym too. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he learned some things.
He did learn some things, but then I did not agree with changing his style of like that's the total Mayweather D. I mean,
I agree with that 100%.
Not look, you know, solid because you know, number one, he's a converted southpaw.
Correct. So
he's a natural left-hander, but he fights orthodox, and so when he would do the Philly show, it would look kind of awkward on him.
Right.
That was the first. I mean, his first fight was with Fernando Vargas.
Yeah.
He fought Fernando Vargas for the rights of East LA, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember that was so much drama going on into that. But anyways, I think that was when he was a senior, right? He was a senior. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he's trying to adopt that show. It did not look good on him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I like his original way of fighting when he fought Trinidad, when he was fighting Corte, when he was fighting, you know, when he was on his toes, he's boxing around.
Right.
You know, I mean, I guess he wanted to learn the defense, and he was open to that.
Yeah. Now, you know what? I mean, it's nothing.
100%.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with fighters learning if you're a southpaw and you learn the orthodox style, or if you're orthodox and you learn the southpaw. It's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think that's great. You know, that a person can switch back and forth. But one big thing that I have, and I've been seeing it a lot lately, is I'm not seeing a whole lot of fighters use the jab. An effective jab is my thing. If you got a great jab, you're gonna win most of your fights, because I don't care.
Oscar was converted and he had a great jab.
Yeah. Oscar won most of his fights too. Am I right?
Correct.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If you have a great jab, you're going to win most of your fights. You know, I've been seeing a lot of the fighters today, you know, mainly in one style, and they're not utilizing a jab. And I'm just like, how did this fighter make it that far without using the jab? Again, like Manny Pacquiao, they couldn't use the jab. I don't know what that's about, but the jab is the number one key in boxing. And anybody would tell you that. Any serious coach will tell you that the jab is the key in boxing. Okay.
The thing is when you say Manny Pacquiao had a decent jab. He had decent speed and he had a decent jab. I mean,
I didn't see it much though. I didn't see him do a whole lot of jab. I seen him. I would love the way he would come inside and he just hit you with a barrage of punches and he was in and out. I mean, that was amazing. But I didn't see him use his jab, as much. And he had a jab, but it's like he didn't use it. It's like, or maybe he was doing it so fast that maybe we didn't see the jab. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
You see that? I mean, when he first jumped on the scene against Six Heads Lewis, I mean, you see him use his jab a lot.
Yeah. Then he did, but then as he kept going, he didn't use it that much. So.
You see Manny evolve, though. I mean, before it used to be the basic 1-2. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Bread and butter was the jab and the straight left hand. It was only until after he got, later on in his career where he learned to box and to conserve his energy.
Mm-hmm.
He learned a lot out of the Marquez fight, the first Marquez fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's when he learned how to box.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's when he started. That's when Freddie started like, okay, you need to learn how to use your right hand more. That's when he started seeing him use this hook. The ice, they call it the right hook. I mean, and he started the angles now. He started innovating angles.
Yeah.
That's when he started.
Yeah.
But when he first jumped on the scene, he blitzed people with the straight 1-2.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at his early career, it was a straight 1-2.
Yeah.
That was his go-to.
Yeah.
If he couldn't land that, he would up or down to the body or to the head. It was just straight on 1-2.
Yeah. He's an amazing fighter. Amazing fighter. I can't take nothing away from him, but I'm just saying for me, I want to see the jab because I know what the jab can do. I mean, man. I mean, unless you got some kind of Mike Tyson knockout power, and that's
Manny pretty much.
Yeah.
Manny he used the jab as a range finder to set up.
Yeah, and that's basically what the jab is for. Because if you stop and you look at it, one of the best jabs in the business was was Larry Holmes, and and Larry Holmes, who he learned it from, which was from Muhammad Ali. So so we could just say basically the best jab in the business really came from Muhammad Ali, and then Larry Holmes, he followed suit in that. Now, I don't see too many other people following suit of Larry Holmes with a jab like that, and that's what we need to get back to. Okay. And that's something that I'm big on is the jab, the jab and the defense and, and also being on your toes, all this stuff standing in front of you and, you taking all this damage and all this other stuff. I ain't with all that. I'm gonna take it. That's not the game of boxing. The game of boxing is to hit without getting hit. That's the game.
That's the sweet science.
That's the sweet science of it. And so many people want to see people get brutalized right there in front of them. And it's just like,
Here's a perfect example. I mean, there's a lot of people who had a great jab. There's a lot of people that, I could honestly say that they want to see the blood and guts fighters. That's put asses in seats. That's what promoters try to push.
Correct.
You look at that, right?
Yeah.
Because there was an underrated fighter back in the days in 47 and 54 that nobody wanted to fight because of what you exactly said. Does the name Winky Wright mean anything to you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, my goodness.
Exactly what I mean. Nobody wanted to fight this guy.
No, because they knew that they was in for it if they fought Winky Wright. They knew it. Yeah.
So that's why I'm giving him a shine now.
Yeah.
It's way after the fact. He's probably retired now. But when I looked at that, I was like, how come no one wants to fight this guy? And then I saw him fight. I was like, that's why.
Yeah. Well, now check.
Box circles around you. He had a beautiful jab. He was perfect.
Exactly.
Defensive offense.
Okay. And
nobody wanted to fight him.
And now check this out, right? Now, not only did he have a perfect offense and defense, his defense was extraordinary. Okay. It was an extraordinary defense with the high guard. Okay. And yes. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are stopping and they're saying about the Floyd Mayweather defense is this and Floyd Mayweather defense is that. Hey man, there was fighters way before Floyd came along that has great defenses also that's not being talked about. You know, Winky Wright is one of those fighters, okay, that had a great defense.
They're around the same
You know?
time though, because I think when Winky Wright was coming up, he got his shine. I mean,
He's a little bit. I think Floyd was.
a little older.
Yeah, Floyd's.
Older.
Yeah,
Floyd was
yeah. He's a little bit older than Floyd.
Yeah.
You know, but Winky Wright. Yeah, Winky Wright was.
Floyd was still at lightweight at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. But Winky Wright was, man. He was no joke, man. That high guard defense was amazing. You know, it's amazing.
The only time Winky lost is when he moved up in weight. He tried to go to middleweight.
Right.
Jermaine Taylor. I mean, he boxed circles around Trinidad. People
Yeah.
forget that.
Yeah.
Trinidad's
Yes.
one of my favorite fighters.
Exactly.
When
Exactly.
Tito came back out of retirement actually in 2000, whatever, 2004, 2002 or something like that, and then Winky just starched him after that. That was it.
Yeah.
You know, outboxed in 12 rounds. It was not even close.
Yeah. Winky Wright, man. Oh man.
Winky Wright and Jermaine Taylor.
Yeah.
I mean, Jermaine Taylor.
Yeah.
Winky Wright beat Jermaine Taylor. I
Yeah.
mean, it was one of those.
Yeah.
A lot.
Unbelievable, man.
54 to 60. I mean,
Yeah. Unbelievable, man.
Winky Wright started to.
Yeah.
So when you say like, yeah, that's the perfect. I think what you talk about with the jab and defense.
Yeah.
Because Winky Wright was the epitome of that.
Yes.
That's
Yes. And that's what I'm trying to instill in this new fighter. The fighter, his name is like I said, Okana Chukwemeka. I'm trying to instill that into him and to get him to understand that you have to have a jab. Okay, you're gonna have to have a defense. Okay, the offense is gonna come. Okay, if you have you got those jabs and you're able to utilize your jab, and you have to be able to see those windows of opportunity. You know. So, in fact, there was something that was said last night in on the MMA card. What the commentator said. He said, when a person commits to throwing a punch or kick, whatever it is, it's what's in between that you have to take advantage of. Okay, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's what's in between what that fighter is doing. The fighter's throwing the punch out and he's coming back. It's what's in between where you have to take that split second, that brief window of opportunity to put hands on them. Okay, and this positioning comes in.
Timing position.
Yeah, it comes in, and you got to know it. Okay, you know what I mean. And getting back to another fight that was perfect with it was Gervonta Davis and Rolly. Perfect timing. There it is, right there. Perfect timing. And if you look at it,
when you look at it, also, I mean, when it comes to perfect timing, who's like a fearsome puncher, also. It's Costa against Zab Judah.
Oh yeah. Oh, come on, Zab Judah.
He came in there. I mean, the first round, and then Costa just came with the perfect right then.
Well,
that was it. End of story.
The one thing I didn't
exposed Judah's chin.
Yeah.
At the same time, Judah was already, his chin was suspect.
Yeah, but
he was a good fighter.
Yeah, Judah was a good fighter, but the only one thing I never understood about Judah was I never understood why Judah would only fight 6 rounds and then he basically quit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
he was a front runner. Floyd said it himself.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like he knew it was like the first 6 rounds he'd fight hard.
Yeah, and then and after that he was done. So it was like, well, wow, man, Zab, and Zab was a great fighter, man. Zab, yeah, he was Zab, So
I think Zab was at his finest when he fought Corey Spinks.
Yeah, I agree with that.
When he first made the jump to 47.
Yeah.
He looked great against Corey Spinks. And Corey Spinks was a great counterfighter also.
Yeah, man. Wow, that was pretty cool, man. That's cool. That's some good stuff right there, bro. That's some good stuff, Yeah. So again, I'll say it again out there for all you young fighters that's out there. It's what's happening in between what your opponent is doing that you have to learn to take advantage of. That is something that we don't hear people talk about, It's a legit conversation. What's happening in between what the fighter is doing that you see that you could take advantage of. Okay, that's a deep conversation.
That's really good. I mean, once you get that across,
you
got something figured out.
Well, and see, that's the thing, And remember what I said about Boots Ennis, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, this is what it's going to come down to. It's what does Boots do that, everybody's saying that Boots is this and Boots is that and all this other stuff, right? Okay, well, again, but Boots has never really been tested. That chin ain't really been tested yet, you know?
That's how he's going to react once he gets
Exactly. And see, that's what I'm talking about. And the only way he's gonna get tested is when he gets in the ring with some of these top notch guys. And then we'll find out how really good Boots is, you know? I mean,
maybe there's a transitional period like that. I mean,
yeah.
like when you look at people come from the amateurs, like Andre Ward, perfect,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
You want to see Andre Ward face adversity. That's when I was jumping on the bandwagon yet once, Andre was there because, his Olympic pedigree and his amateurs.
Mhm.
Everybody knew where he was coming from. But I was still like, okay, let's see how he reacts when he gets hit. Let's see what happens when, he had an injury. Like,
Right.
And then he adjusts and he overcomes.
Mhm.
He's been 100% all the way up until he retired.
Mhm.
I was like,
Yeah.
I've been a fan. Once he showed me that adversity.
Yeah. But you know what, though? That you mentioned Andre Ward, I really hadn't paid a whole lot of attention to Andre Ward because it wasn't a whole lot happening with him. I can't blame him for that.
Because his promotion.
Right. I can't blame him for that, but I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to him. I knew of him, but I didn't really start paying attention to him towards, not until I saw him fight in Oakland. I saw him fight and
in Oakland. I think it was.
I was at that fight.
I think I was there too.
Yeah, I was at that fight. I can't remember the guy's name, but that's when I started paying attention to him. I said, "Hey, this guy's pretty good."
Was it Chad? It was Chad Dawson.
Was that Chad?
Chad Dawson?
No, I don't. No. I don't think it was Chad Dawson. I think that was it was a Hispanic guy. He was a Cuban guy. Cuban. That's all I remember. The guy was he was Hispanic or Cuban or some sort of Latino descent. He fought in Oakland. I can't remember the name, but that's when I started paying attention to him. I was like, this guy's good. I need to pay attention to him. So that's when I really start paying attention to Andre Ward. But before that, dude, I didn't even know who he was, man.
Really? From the amateurs, from the Olympics, none of that?
Never paid attention to him, bro.
Oh, okay.
Never paid attention to him. And you know what? And being a fight fan, it's kind of like, man, I wished I would have watched him when
he was mismanaged. I mean, that's the thing. He didn't get the shine. He didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were mismanaging him, I guess you can say.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing. Sometimes people mismanage you, and you can have all the talent in the world, and you get mismanaged, and next thing you know, man, that's it.
He beat Crusher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he beat Crusher, I was like, okay, this guy is really gonna do some stuff, So, and then before you know it, he's retired.
Yeah. All adversity thing though. When you see a fighter change his plan, I mean, perfect example is when I think it was Gaddy Ward 2.
Right.
Or was it 3? Where I think Arturo hurt his right hand, and then he just switched to his left hand the rest of the fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then when you see that happen, you're like, he's hurt. Everybody knows he's hurt. He's still fighting.
And he's still fighting.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And he won.
Yeah, and he won. Yeah, that's craziness, but hey, it happens,
Right.
That's the heart of a warrior.
What do when you're in that situation?
Yeah.
You see the true heart of a fighter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's why I'm like, that's what as a fan.
Yeah.
Geez,
Yeah.
He's going out there and he found a way to win.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's that warrior spirit I'll be talking about.
Legit.
Yeah, that's what that's
what I look forward to.
Yeah.
Every time I watch a fight.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah, watch that warrior spirit.
So something happens in the middle of the fight. What happens?
Right.
How are they going to adjust? How are they going to change?
Yeah.
It's like I used to jump on the bandwagon on certain fighters because of their pedigree, but then it's like I decide to hold back and wait until they face adversity. Then I can make the judgment if I'm going to jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, wow, man.
Trinidad was one of my favorite fighters. I mean, he's been on the canvas X amount of times, all the time. He got up and he knocked the other opponent.
Yeah. Okay. So, let me ask you this question. Out of all of the champions that you know about, okay, which one of them would you say beat the most champions?
Beat the most champions?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're talking weight class here and moved up in weight.
No, it don't matter. It doesn't matter which one. It don't matter. It don't matter about pound for pound. But you know, which champion would you say beat the most champions?
That's kind of tough because when you talk about the alphabet soup that's happening now, compared to back in the day when you're talking about the golden years of boxing, you're talking about the 70s. Do they have to have a title at the time that they came and took it?
Yeah. All the champions. Yeah, champions. All the
champions that I know of that came in
and beat the most champions.
Lineal. Dude, this is a Max Kellerman question.
No, it's not a Max Kellerman. You know what? That's another dude that's a clown to me, Max Kellerman. You know what I'm saying? He's a
walking encyclopedia of boxing.
Yeah, he is. But you know what I mean? I mean, I just never, I don't know. I just don't like his style, man. I never like Max, I mean, he says a lot of great things, but I just never really liked the guy too much, He's a great, I'll give it to him. He's a great commentator. I just don't like his style. That's it, huh?
He's a great stats guy too, though.
Yeah.
He really did his homework when it comes to.
Yeah.
But as for champions, I mean, that came and beat other champions. I mean, that's kind of because if you're a champion yourself, you have the title. Everyone's coming to you. Are you talking about defending, or are you talking about conquering other champions?
I'm talking about conquering other champions.
How could that be, though?
You mean how could that be? You don't know who did that?
I know who did that, but you're talking about alphabet soup there.
No. There's any out of all the champions that were out there, I mean, we can't. It's
undisputed.
If you went undisputed, there's only one person there. That's Mayweather. Mayweather. Yeah, huh?
That's not true.
Mayweather. Yeah, he's undisputed, but
way before Floyd.
Yeah, but Mayweather beat the most champions. Mayweather did it. Mayweather beat most of your champions. I think it was either anywhere from 12 to 16 champions that he beat. Out of all the other fighters and all the other champions that was out there, Mayweather was actually the one that actually did that. And when you stop and you think about that, and you understand, well, a lot of people sit back and they say Mayweather's talking about he TBE and he's this and that. I mean, it's what has he done? What did he do when he was in boxing? And one of those things is he beat the most champions. Because Mayweather's been a champion.
Talk about former champions that fought him.
Well, whether they had a belt or not, they still considered champions. Okay, but so Mayweather is the one that beat him, and I think he's beat other champions with belts too, So I'm just like, that is a great achievement, and I see why he calls himself TBE. Huh?
Take that away from him?
No. Oh, hell no. You can't take that away from him. In fact, you got to give him his praise because I don't think there's anybody else that's done it.
Yeah, but then at the same time, look at the era they're in, though.
True.
I mean, look at now.
Well,
look how many organizations there are with how many lineal champions there
are. Exactly. Back in the day, there was only just a couple. There was WBC, WBA, and then your IBF came along. Right. That was then. But
that's why you can't take that away from him statistically. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, you can't take it away.
He beat the most former champions in his time. Yeah, you can't take that. But then look how many made up belts are.
Exactly. Yeah, there are a lot of belts out there.
A lot.
In fact,
and then you have the WBC talking about this super champion status and emeritus and all this other stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, what I want is just the lineal champion who won it from the past.
What about this? What is this belt called? You get a belt for being the, what is it?
Diamond?
No, not the diamond. When you don't want to fight somebody, what is it? What is that belt called?
When you don't want to fight, you got an interim champion?
No, not the interim. It's another belt that these guys make jokes of. I can't think of it. They make a joke of it. I can't think of the belt. Oh man. It's a belt.
Well, I mean, like, first guy that did that was like Riddick Bowe when he didn't want to fight Lewis.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? He threw the belt in the garbage.
Leave it to Riddick Bowe, baby. Leave it to Riddick Bowe. You know, Riddick Bowe. Yeah. Yeah. I can't think of the name of this title. Oh man, I can't think of the name of it. Oh, come on, man. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. I can't think of the name of the belt. They said Tiafimo had one of those belts. It's a WBC belt. Can't think of it. Can't think of the name.
Wow.
It
had to be WBC.
It's a WBC belt, but it's one of those belts that when you don't want to fight the champion, they get some other, you get like a pass or some shit.
I mean, that's something. I mean, WBC is one of the longest history. You know, I don't know why they messed up and had belts made after that.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know.
Okay, super champion status. Okay, I guess it's to counter like when people started, you know, moving up divisions. You know, swallowing up 2 division, you know, belts.
Right.
Even in hold, right?
Uh-huh.
Like Roy Jones, you know, 68 to 175, and then he held the heavyweight champion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like not WBC. There's all different alphabet too. So I'm
yeah.
like, you know,
well,
I was thinking like who beat the most champions? Like, what are all champions? And you know, are you talking about former champions? I had to go back and think of
it. Yeah. Shit, we should come up with a belt, the BPTV Championship.
They got the Ring Magazine.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Yeah, I can't think of the name of it, but it'll come to me, and it'll come to me. When it comes to me, I'll send it to you, and you're gonna laugh your head off when you hear it. It's one of those belts, man. I can't think of it right now. Oh man, wow. It's not a franchise title. It's something else.
I ask you something about the title organizations. Or
Mm-hmm.
You have to pay a fee or some sanction fee.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, I know some of the orgs have rules. This is something I always wanted to know. I should know. Like, for example, the IBF, right? The IBF, there's like a rule that you cannot be like 10 pounds over your weight class after you have to stay within 10 pounds or something like that.
Oh, I don't.
Weight class at the,
yeah. That if they got a rule like that, that rule is broken all the time because I know fighters. Yeah. I know them fighters are probably going over that weight. You know.
47 coming at the night of the fight like 65.
Yeah. Come on now. Yeah. That is something that if they do have that rule, that'd be something stupid. They need to get rid of that. You know.
Some MMA sanctions, like out in Japan internationally, they make you weigh in the day of the fight.
Yeah. That can't. You know when you.
And they have a. So they won't have the worry. I mean, I think it's one of those things of worry that if they're dehydrating themselves too much.
Right. Well, that's one way to keep it fair too.
Yeah.
That's
why I think they did that.
Yeah.
They have you weigh in the day of, and if you don't make it, you don't make it.
Yeah.
And you can't be over a certain amount of your natural body weight. I think they say that they measure the water in you too.
Wow.
I forgot what organization. I think it's One Fight Championship.
Yeah. Wow. That's
those guys out in Singapore. I think.
Wow. That's crazy. You know. Yeah.
When it comes to this stuff.
Yeah. Well, hey, ain't nothing wrong with being a fight fan. That's what's up. You know. That's what's up, you know. So, yeah, the same with me. I can talk for hours and hours about this, but you know, this fight game, whether it's MMA or boxing, either one of them, I can talk for hours and hours about it because it's just something. It's my passion, you know. It is my passion. It's fun. There's a lot to talk about. You know, there's a lot that we could sit here and debate about, but you know, we just agree to disagree because everybody's going to have a difference of opinion. So, which is cool. And you know, that's what makes these conversations so fun, that we could actually talk to each other on what we think. And just because we don't agree, don't mean that we got to hate each other and all this other stuff. Like with the Crawford fans, again, I'm gonna say it. I think I said it last time. I'm just hearing all kinds of stupid and dumb shit when they start talking about Terrence Crawford this and Terrence Crawford that, and then Earl Spence this and Earl Spence that. You know, again, my take on it. My take on it.
Yeah. Because I hear it from both sides.
Yeah.
Still 50-50.
Yeah. Yeah.
You cannot jump on and say that you're not biased when you just say you give the slight edge to
yeah, I give the slight edge to him. It's based on, you know, just on a few small things. That's what it's based on. It ain't nothing really big. But the bottom line to it is, I just think that Spence is going to win the fight. That's just me. That's an opinion on that. But I'm just hearing some stuff that's just plain, just downright, just. You said what? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like you say, well, come on now. I mean that don't even make any sense, and you don't even believe that. You know what I'm saying? You know, it came out your mouth, but you don't even believe that. I know that. So, you know, it's kind of crazy, you know. But, you know, the bottom line to it is,
yeah. There's one thing I need to talk about when it comes to like the MMA event that happened last night at the UFC.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, how do you think Pereira set up that left hook?
Oh, that was beautiful, man.
No,
that was.
How do you think you set it up with a leg kick, a body kick, or was it a feint? What do you think it was?
I think it was a combination of the leg kick and a feint.
Yeah.
I think it was both, because I mean, from what I saw, you know, what he did, man, that was the perfect left hook. That was, yeah, that was beautiful. I mean, you can't get any better than that left hook, you know. I mean, that was a beautiful left hook. It was just so clean, you know.
It was crisp.
Yeah.
And then the follow-up right hand after that.
Oh yeah. And the dude was already out.
Yeah. He was out on the way out.
He was on the way out. Yeah. He got clipped. You know, I was just like, man.
Right on the chin. That was perfect textbook.
Exactly. And this is the guy that beat Izzy.
Yep. Twice.
Yeah. Ooh.
He beat Izzy twice in kickboxing.
Wow.
One Chinese ring, and then another one at a time. I think in Korea. I forget.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, but you know, Izzy is grown as a fighter, so we'll find out.
And this MMA too.
This is MMA. Yeah, we'll find out. So
he can shoot for takedowns.
Exactly.
You saw the takedown defense that Izzy had.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see what happens, bro.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen, because I think Pereira took his number. Strickland was ranked 4.
Yeah.
And so that puts him in line.
Oh yeah. And I think Izzy said something about that at the end of the fight. I think he said something about.
You know who the next fight is? Boha.
Yeah.
Portuguese.
Yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see. You know, we'll see what happens, man. It's a lot of exciting stuff that's out there in the pugilistic sports, man. I'm just waiting for it to happen, you know.
That leg kick off the beginning, and then it wasn't like, okay, the leg kick wasn't that hard, but that body kick was.
Oh yeah, that body kick.
Body kick. Oh
yeah.
That was flowing in half.
Yeah.
His right side was hurting, had to be.
Oh yeah. Oh man, dude, that was amazing. It was just amazing just to watch these skillful athletes go at it, man.
Another thing that I'm running questions is about, because you know, he's the master of range, because you know he's 6'4", right?
Yeah.
But Pereira is also 6'4".
Yeah.
so that's what makes me think he can't get away with all the matrix type, defense pull counters.
Well, we're gonna find out.
They both have 80-inch reach.
Well, we're gonna find out. That's that's gonna find out. And see, this what makes MMA and even boxing so great, is because you will finally meet someone who could match your skills, you know, and then we'll find out how good you really are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
This is a real test for Izzy. I mean,
yeah.
When Izzy went up to 205 to fight, somebody else, I said, yeah, you're fighting way out of your weight class, though.
Right.
I was like, you're not fighting it. And he got beat by points.
Yeah.
The guy didn't, took him down, and he pretty much grinded him out on the floor.
Yeah.
Because he was bigger and heavier.
Yeah. And that weight does make a difference, especially when you got somebody leaning on you. you know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
You're tired.
Yeah,
You know, in the clinch, and you see people clinch and stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Spent.
Well, that's why I said, for what Spence wants to do with getting back to the Terrence Crawford Earl Spence fight, for what Spence wants to do, he's going to want to get right into Terrence Crawford's chest, you know, and get Crawford on the heels of his on his heels, because on the heels you don't have a whole lot of power going backwards, because then he's only forced to go to his angles. You know what I'm saying?
Another thing, I've never seen Spence fight on his back foot. I never
Ha
seen him fight backwards. Never seen Spence fight backwards, right?
Now you paying attention. Yeah. Now you paying attention. I didn't say nothing about it, but hey, now you paying attention. All right. There you go. See, that's a whole.
Spence go forward and to the side.
Hey,
never seen him fight on his back foot.
Hey.
I mean, when he does fight going backwards, he's not as effective as.
Well, not too many fighters are when they're on their back on going backwards. You know what I'm saying?
Floyd.
Okay, hey, different animal. Okay, different animal.
Floyd fight as a great counter fighter.
Yeah.
That's his whole thing.
Yeah. But we can't. We can't. Okay, now don't get me wrong. Now, although Spence has been in the ring with Floyd, I mean, I ain't even gonna try to even compare those two together. Okay, I can't. I ain't even gonna attempt to even do that. They've been in the ring, and so I ain't gonna try and compare them. I'll leave that's a conversation I don't even want to talk about.
Fight on the back foot. Fight on the back foot.
Yeah, now that's the thing. Fighting on his back foot. Yeah, you don't see Spence do that a lot.
You don't see Spence fight on his back foot.
The question is,
Bud fight on his back foot.
Yeah, you do. And but you see also, if I was watching one of Bud's fights just the other day, and Bud was in the southpaw stance, and he went backwards a couple times. I mean, he didn't stay there very long though. You know what I mean? He hit the guy and he got out of there really, really fast. And, being that Spence is going to try to be on the inside of him all the time, I think that's what he's going to do, try to hit and run. That's why I said I believe that Bud's going to be on his heels most of the night. That's just my belief. I could be dead wrong, bro.
Yeah, but every time you see Spence, he's walking someone down.
Exactly. And that's what you're supposed to do. Walk them down. Walk them down. I mean,
if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, and what's going to make a difference too? The size of the ring is going to make a difference.
I was about to ask that too.
The size of the ring is going to make a huge difference on whose game plan is going to be more effective.
20-foot ring,
Hey. Again, another subject that people don't talk about, the size of the ring, so, we don't know.
That makes sense. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. There's a lot of questions and things like that's going to get answered, and we don't know until they actually announce the fight. And then, like I said, I want to know what is the size of the ring. That's going to make a big difference. Yeah. So many that are out there that, I hear, I hear all these other podcasters, they say this and they say that, and, like with me, like I said, I don't want to be like the other podcasters. I don't want, nothing like them. I just I want it to be different, I want it to be different. So that's why I plan on bringing different things to the podcast. And one of the things is, well, what's the size of the ring? Some people say, oh, they ain't gonna make no difference. If you know anything about fighting, then the ring makes a huge, huge difference. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You're done. Yeah, you're done.
Your body's done.
Yeah.
He's gonna attack your body like no other.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing that, like I said, people don't talk about, And then again, too, there are podcasters out there that they are, I don't know if they were fighters or not, I have no idea, or they just talking. I don't know, but I know that I'm talking from experience and being in the ring and a coach, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm being real with it. And, like I said, I hear other people say stuff. I know there's one other guy out there that I pay attention to, and I actually really like him, and that's Coach Malcolm. You know, he's pretty cool. You know, and there's a couple other guys out there too I like, but Coach Malcolm is like, you know, he's pretty upfront, and he was a former fighter too. So, you know, so I tend to go with, you know, most of the guys that really know what they're doing and know what they're talking about in the boxing game. You know, so you know, because there's so many other people that just make these thumbnails and just put them out there, you know, and people say, hell,
I mean, that's the content, you know, that's the other podcasters that they're there for content.
Right.
There for content too.
Right.
You know,
Right.
what's wrong? I mean, this is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is trying to get the views, right?
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes they're pushed a certain way, and they're pushed to like act out of their, you know, realm.
Right.
You know, and sometimes they put a little too much on it, a little too much, just to please the crowd.
Right.
Please
Right.
the views.
Right.
You know?
And see, and that's not what I want to be about. Just try to please you. I want you to know the truth. You know,
Right.
That's what I want you to know. The truth,
That's a good
the
one.
whole
It's
truth,
honest.
and nothing but the truth. That's what I want you to know. So you can make an honest decision on who you think wins this fight, and it doesn't matter if it's Spence or if it doesn't matter if it's Crawford. It doesn't matter. But the point of it is that you know the right direction to go in. You know, and that's totally up to the fight fan. You know. So, because again, like me and you, we're good friends, but we have a difference on who's gonna win the fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's important, because it's like, hey man, wow, hey Prince, you was wrong. Crawford beat the hell out of Spence. You know what I'm saying? You're like, wow.
I'll admit wrong.
Hey.
So like, that's why I'm still 50-50, and I'm not going to make a decision even when if the fight's going to happen like 10 minutes from now. I still can't put it.
Well, I know. Hey,
I
I understand, bro. I understand, but with me, I'm like I said, I'm picking Spence on that one. I'm picking Spence. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I want to see Liz. I mean, I like Spence too.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been watching Spence's, you know, when he's coming up as a pro.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen his pedigree. I've seen him knock out people. I've seen his, you know,
Right.
the way he walks people down. I've seen the way he fights. It's exciting.
Right. Now,
body shots.
Now, you know, if Spence was fighting any other fighter, I'm not Spence, I'm sorry. If Crawford was fighting any other fighter, I would pick Crawford. I would pick Crawford. I would pick Crawford. Huh?
At 47?
At 47, yeah. If he's fighting any other fighter, you know, exclude Spence. Spence is not in the picture. If he was fighting Keith Thurman, if Crawford was fighting Boots Ennis, I would put my money on Crawford.
You know, I've been waiting for you know, what's his name? The Mayweather copy. Adrian Broner.
Wait, hey, Theo, I ain't worried about nothing.
I mean, he hasn't been the same since Madonna, so I just had to throw that out there.
Yeah, man, come on, man, dude, that is that.
Don't laugh.
Adrian Broner, come on, man, that dude, man. You know what, man? I thought I saw him in San Francisco selling newspapers on the corner, bro. I'm serious, man. I'm serious, dude. Yeah, he was close to 75 Hawthorne Street, man. You know, dude, man. Dude.
Because, okay, I'm thinking of 47 and who just moved up to 47.
Yeah.
Broner was there. He had his thing with Manny, and he's delusional that he won that fight.
Yeah.
But we've seen Adrian talk a lot, and he got pretty much mopped up by Maidana.
Yeah.
And he's never been the same since.
No, and
the Floyd copy. I mean, he was walking people down like how Floyd did. I mean, he had the Philly shell too.
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't know if you would call that a Philly shell, but you know, I don't know if you call that a Philly shell, but you know, I mean, you know, it worked for him. Yeah, Berto retired too, but the only thing with Berto was he abused what was it, the PEE, the PEDs, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah. So, and you know, what's so funny about Adrian Broner is, you know, when you know, he used to say, I ain't worried about nothing. Well, not too long ago, he was just asking Floyd Mayweather for help. you,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But he ain't worried about nothing, though. You know what I mean? I mean,
He's asking Floyd for help. Huh?
yeah, he was asking Floyd for help because he was saying, "Big bro, I need you," and all this other stuff. So
As a promoter?
I don't know if it was as a promoter or just as a friend. I don't know.
Oh, I thought he burned that bridge.
Yeah, I thought so too.
For a while, and then, anyways.
Yeah, yeah, I thought so too. So I don't know, man. I don't know, but we'll see what happens.
Forget that I even said they.
No. It's a good way to pick him up. You pick it up because I think he's supposed to be having a fight coming up. I think they pushed it back. He's supposed to be fighting Omar Figueroa.
Inactivity, though.
Well, both inactivity, both of them. Yeah, yeah, both of them have inactivity. Yeah, I think Figueroa gonna beat that boy. Yeah, he gonna beat that boy. Come on, Adrian is pretty much washed up, man. Come on, his career is pretty much done. I mean, yeah, yeah. Okay. I understand he wants to get back into the game, make some money, and probably chill out. Nothing's wrong with that. Great plan. Okay, but I think he's pretty much done, man. I think.
At this level, though,
yeah, he's done. He's done. I mean, what else can he do at that level? Ain't much he can do. You know what I'm saying?
Bob was making 140. That's why he made the thing to 47. You made the move to 47 because you could have made 40.
Yeah. And I mean, who else is he gonna fight? I mean, who's really out there for him to really fight?
That's why I was trying to look at anything at Walter right now for Terrence. This is the whole thing. We were trying to find a fight for Bud outside of Spence. They both pretty much cleaned up the division. There's no one. Yeah. There's no one.
There's no one there. There's no one there. But like I said,
54.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything at 54.
Well, we can get. Here's a good fight. Bud.
Go to 54, no problem.
Hey, Bud and Thurman would be a good fight.
I think Terrence is going to beat him.
Yeah. Oh, I know Terrence will beat him. Yeah, I know Terrence will beat him. Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. He'll beat him.
One time is front foot heavy. And hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I think one time is front foot heavy, and and Terrence is gonna box circles around him.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he'll beat him. And as crazy as this may sound, again, I think he'll beat Boots Ennis also. And people say, well, why in the world would you say that? Boots is this and Boots is that. Because number one, it's too early for Boots, and Terrence Crawford has been doing it longer than Boots. Experience. Okay? And I understand Boots has got like 20, almost 30 something fights. I understand that. But, Crawford's been doing it, he's been doing it a little bit longer, so. Yeah, he's been doing it a little bit longer. So experience-wise, it's definitely got to go with Crawford, Yeah. So, But there are a couple good fights that are out there if the Spence and Crawford does not get made. Because Boots is a good fight. What's his name? Thurman's a good fight. Yeah. Hey, here's one that'd be really good. And he beat Bud twice in the amateurs. Ugas and Crawford would be a good one.
Good fight.
Say it again?
Didn't they fight?
In the amateurs, yeah. Not in the pros. That'd be a good fight. That'd be a real good fight. In fact, I don't even know if Crawford would take that fight. But I mean, if it comes up as as a big money fight, yeah, hey, most people would jump on it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, and yeah. So because eventually something has to happen, because, okay, Spence and Crawford go at it, right? Whoever wins the fight is whoever wins the fight. Okay. But all those other guys that are left down there, okay, who's going to be the one that's going to take over that whole division? Who's the next man in line to take over that division?
Take over 47. That's tough.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard to look at who's, because even right now, I mean, I used to watch, lightweight all the way from 122 all the way to 60.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like there's not that many intriguing fights because of the coverage.
Right.
It's like I'm not getting coverage on ESPN anymore. I'm not getting coverage from ABC or even HBO is now defunct. So
Right.
it's like the only thing that's left is Showtime. Showtime is not nearly hosting as much.
Right.
ESPN Plus is not hosting much either. Top Rank is, but it's not. It's not like shows or you have to be there live to do it, and so that's why I'm kind of falling off, and so I don't know, I'm not following up to like 160.
Right.
Before, like in the millennium or even the 90s, you could easily say, okay, if he makes a jump from 47 to 54, from 54 to 60, these will be mythical, shots that might happen,
Right.
matches that might happen. So when you look at it now, it's like, yeah, all I know is from Spence and Bud, and from whatever Top Rank puts out there, Teofimo,
Right.
Lomachenko.
Right.
It's like that's all that
Well,
you can't even say 60 now.
Right.
That used to be the money. The money right there is like once they come out of 47, is they're going to jump to 54 and eventually hit 60.
Yeah, hit 60. Yeah, you're right.
But
Yeah.
who's at 60 right now? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no.
It's open.
Who's the middleweight? Great. I mean, in the 90s, you had Bernard Hopkins. You had, everyone at 60.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Now you look at it like, okay, well, there's
nobody that's out there. Yeah. There's nobody. There's nobody.
It's
Yeah.
kind of sad.
Well, you see, but you see though, here's the thing. That's where these platforms and these different channels is going to come in. They just got to learn how to contact these promoters and let the promoters know, hey, I have a venue where we can promote, these other fighters that are out there. And you don't know who's going to come up with that new rising star. That's where these other venues come in at, and these other channels. And, you don't see too many channels doing that. We got.
It used to be.
Yeah.
You figure it used to be regular television. You
Right.
could follow them from like the amateurs up. You could. Those televised all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Fights would have you see this guy in the pros and he's
Mm-hmm.
like 2-0, and you see him like rise the ranks.
Right.
And all you see him in a title fight. He's on HBO.
Right.
And then you're following him, and then he's the champion, and he's defending,
Mm-hmm.
But now it's not even like that.
Yeah, it's not even like that. Well, but you know what though? That's what we need to get back to get boxing back to where it needs to be, bro.
I agree.
And again, Boxing Profiles is the platform. Once again, Boxing Profiles is the platform for all of us to get back to boxing. That means, yes, I'm talking about Friday night fights. Okay, Tuesday night fights, Friday night fights, you name it. Yeah, whatever you want to call it, Saturday night, whatever. In fact, we won't have fights all week long. Okay. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But my bottom line to it is we need to get back to that, and these channels that these podcasts and things like that. If you guys really want great content, then the best thing to do is to be able to host these fights. That's what's up. That's what's up.
When you're talking about the Spence and Crawford thing, it's like, okay, after they fight each other, that just raised the question to me. What happens to them after that?
Exactly. So let's just say Spence moves up, right? It doesn't matter who wins or who loses. Let's say Spence moves up. Let's say Crawford won the fight, right? And okay, Spence moves up and he's fighting up there. Okay. And then Crawford decides, okay, well, I'm going to retire. And when I retire, now I'm 2 times undisputed in 2 different weight classes. Right. He gives up all the belts. Okay. So now who's going to take over that division?
Right.
That's the question. Is it going to be Boots? Is it going to be Thurman? What weight does I think it's Ortiz? What weight does he fight at? I've been hearing a lot about him.
He's coming back, the kid.
Yeah.
The one that Mayweather punched in the mouth in the middle of a clinch?
Something like that. Yeah, I think it was him. But it was supposed to be somebody that's supposed. And his name. No, not him. No, it's a different Ortiz. Anyway, he's supposed to be coming back. He's supposed to be such a better fighter and all this crap. He could be a lightweight too. I don't know for sure. Yeah. Yeah. So the bottom line to it is who's going to step up and take over the division is because we got Javante Tank Davis, who's he can fight at 140.
He can fight at 40.
He can.
That's what I think is gonna,
Yeah.
And Teofimo 40.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody
when it comes to the lighter weight.
Yeah. Somebody's gonna jump up to 147. Somebody's gonna do it from the lightweight division. Somebody's gonna do it. So I mean, you even got we got Mario Barrios out there too. Who is a decent champion. Okay. He's a decent champion. Didn't he just fight Thurman at 147?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So, you got Mario Barrios that's out there. So after this fight is over with Spence and Crawford, who's going to take over the division?
Oh, there's somebody that might be able to jump up and win. I don't know if he'll carry the power.
Yeah.
Lightweight.
Most.
In a way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, in a way, he's lightweight. He could do something, but that's in the lightweight division. But, most people say it'd be Boots Jerron Ennis that's going to take over the division,
47?
Yeah, that's what they say. But you know what? Until he gets tested, I beg to differ.
That's what could be tough. Again, he might be in one of those areas that like the Roy Jones complex.
Exactly.
Around from the fight.
Yeah.
And you just have to keep on gaining weight to, and start collecting and harvesting titles.
Yeah. Or basically somebody could pop up and just beat him. You just never know.
That could happen.
You just never know. When it comes to boxing, all possibilities are open. You know what I'm saying? So, just because you get a fighter out there, and he's this and he's that and he's got this skill and he got that skill, that don't mean he can't be beat.
That's true.
I mean, it don't mean that he can't be beat. How many punches does it take? One. Landed in the right spot, and eventually everybody makes mistakes, right? Yep.
That's what we look for. That's what we're great for as a fight fan.
Yeah.
We want to see the drama unfold.
Yeah.
And you're right.
So we saw Floyd make mistakes when he fought Zab Judah and Shane Mosley. Yeah, we saw that mistake, but he was smart enough to do what? To hold on so he wouldn't go down.
Clinch.
Clinch big time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So, it is what it is, bro. So we'll see what happens, my man.
For sure.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. With everything that's going on, man, we'll see what happens. I'm excited, man.
I really hope it happens in October. Do you think it's gonna happen in the fall?
I'm hoping that this fight happens. It's just so much hype around it. And boxing, we need this. We need it because we ain't seen a great fight in almost 40-45 years.
Yeah, I mean, Evan Flow, you're talking about. It's the Gaddy trilogy.
Yeah.
You're talking about blood and guts, or you're talking about like great fights?
I'm talking great fights, like you talking about like Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. Sugar Ray Leonard and my Marvin Hagler. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Great fights. We ain't seen that in like 40-45 years, So,
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
Yeah. So that's my thing. That we need to see this fight between Spence and Crawford. Get this out the way, So
that's sad to say. Everyone thought that was going to be the Mayweather Pacquiao thing. It was going to be
Nah.
Fight of
Now,
the century.
check this out. Check this out. Everybody's all hyped up around the fight, including me. I'm hyped up around the fight if these two guys fight. What happens if they fight and the fight is a total flop?
That's what I think's going to happen, honestly.
you feel me? Okay.
Yeah, totally.
But
I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, but nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about it because that's what happened with the Mayweather Pacquiao fight. It was a flop.
It was a flop. It was a one-sided thing.
Yeah.
I told everybody this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Floyd's going to come out there and beat our peoples, and I got hanged for it.
Yeah.
Everybody was giving so much crap for it.
Yeah. But that's what happens. What happens is that happens. You know what I'm saying? We expect it to be a great fight and all this, but it could be a flop, man. I hope not.
There's too much at stake because you're talking about legacies here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two guys in their prime.
Yeah.
Two guys that are undefeated. You know, that's why I'm like, there's a lot at stake here. There are going to be a lot of like feints and trying to mind games that are going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be a boring fight.
Yeah. It could be.
Fest, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be.
It's the easiest punch that can, you know, be offense and defense where you can't get hit.
Yeah.
It's hard to time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's going to be this. Well, I can't really say the snoozer of a fight was with the Mayweather fight. Everyone thought it was going to be a good fight because of what Manny brought to the table.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he brought brute strength, and he thought he was going to walk Floyd down. The only guy that probably walked Floyd down was Manny at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And that didn't happen.
And I did.
Floyd was like, he ain't letting anybody walk him down.
Yeah. 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 He's just too good, man. Just too good, man. You know. So, you know, hey, well, as always, it's always a great conversation, man. When I always got you on the phone, man. Cause you know, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get off the phone. We've been on the phone almost 2 hours, Pimpin'.
Are you serious?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Man, bro. See, yeah, see, that's what happens when you have a good conversation about boxing and MMA. That's what happens. Okay.
You lose track of time.
Yeah, you lose track of time. And that's what makes it so good, you know. And you know, all these experts and all these other guys that are out there, you know, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, you know, go ahead and give us a shout out. Write something in the comment section for us.
Boring for you guys, you know what I mean? I hope we're not too boring for you.
Yeah. No, I don't think that we're boring at all, bro. You know? Because we could bounce from many different subjects, and we could pretty much talk about anything with the boxing knowledges and the experience that you know that we have, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Legit.
Yeah, because we're legit. That's why. You know. So, all right, my man.
Take it easy, buddy.
All right, man. Look.
Bye, all.
All right. Hey, look for the show on Tuesday at 1:30. Again, I'll be interviewing 5-time world champion Robert Parham. He's a kickboxing world champion. He'll be coming by, have him live on the podcast. You guys tune in and check it out. All right. With that, all right now. Thanks again, Theo.
All right, buddy.
All right. Once again, folks, I'm your host, Tony Prince, and I'll catch you guys in a minute. And I'm out. You guys have a great day.